Let me get Roll20 going there. So yeah, you've had a successful mission and another mission that was a little shaky, but it's technically successful. And it's giving you the opportunity to experience a few things: life, death, liberty. You've learned some things about yourself and about your allies. Specifically that one of them had a rather elaborate previous relationship that they were unaware of, and is now proving to be a bit more complicated than hoped. And then a few other folks have had recent resurrections that they were hoping that they wouldn't have to experience again, and discovered that they are still being brought back to life via unauthorized means, so to speak, with changes and stuff. So they're not free of whatever was cursing them to do that to begin with. The coffee is still round, much to everybody's horror. We're still not sure how that is accomplished, but there it is. And things of that nature. So what I'm going to do is number you off. Penny, Tisa, Toberius, Drac, and BB. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to roll 2d5, 2 and 3. So that was Tisa and Toberius. All right, y'all get through a little improv assignment here on account of I don't have a flashback for us at the beginning of this one since we're sort of mid-story here. Instead, you are going to write an example log for this current period. Like, what is Tisa's most recent log if she's keeping one? It can be an internal monologue if you want to, and then we'll do Toberius's as well.
Now, fuck. Way to put me on the spot, Pete.
Yeah, that's the way it works. There might be experience involved.
Okay.
When he says experience, you're getting experience doing your improv.
Yeah, yeah, thanks.
You can put this on your resume as stage time.
This is entry in Tisa Webbeck's personal log. Well, things have gotten a little more complicated. Not only am I perhaps in some form a murderer, apparently I am a murderer who would be happy to go after their own family. That's always cheery to hear. I'm hoping this isn't the case, but I can't put myself out of suspicion. And if the offer me is out there still, I'd certainly like to have a word with her and figure this out. The team seems to be getting a little better, working together, although there were some leadership issues in our last encounter. I'm becoming concerned about a couple of our members, though. Toberius seems to have some issue with authority, and in this industry that can lead to some very, very serious repercussions. Hopefully he will figure out what he wants before we go in too deep, or, well, hopefully. Essel on the other, Penny on the other hand. I had my doubts about her sanity. However, after seeing some strange effects from I don't even know what to call it, some concoction she took to help her with her transcendability. Seeing what she deals with, it casts a little more light on why she may think what she does. So I'm going to try and keep a bit more of an open mind. Still going to keep an eye, but more of an open mind. Drac died. That was the thing. Thankfully, he's back. With who's, strangely enough, but he's back. Seemed a little put out by it. I don't know why. I suppose random body modification is a little alarming. But all in all, we're going to be going and finding a team lead, apparently. Some person at the local IRPF. Hopefully, they'll sort us out. I've got nothing else to say. I don't even know I'm filling this out. End log.
Who's going to read this shit? Toberius, what is your latest diary entry?
Aiden, Keel, why haven't you not responded to me? I sent that message off like 2 hours ago. It doesn't take that long for messages to make it to you and back at light speed, especially if you're coming towards us. Anyways, hopefully you still have the cipher. If you don't, I'll get it to you. And I'm definitely not giving it to that jackass Smith. By the way, who is in charge, you or him? I really want to know this because I don't like him. None. Something weird about him just puts me on edge. But anyways, recent events. I got hit by a Zamboni, or at least that's what I was told, and I've been given some information as to what's going on. It looks like our former team lead, Lynn, may still be alive. She's been abducted, probably put through some transmogrification system to make her less gooey. Yeah, gooey. And a little more stable by putting her in armor. How does that work? Anyways, well, we got done with that. You told us to hunt down an old team lead of ours by the name of Rio. Oh my God, you didn't warn me the color.
Can't say that.
Oh my, neon. She's a nice person, but neon. I almost wanted to find a pair of sunglasses. But she seems friendly enough. Hopefully we'll get things corrected. Drax is a little wobbly at the moment for multiple reasons. One, he got killed and came back. And two, he's on hooves, and I don't think he's ever been on hooves before. BB is, well, BB. Love him, but he's BB. I really haven't talked to Tisa recently, but Penny's a little stranger than normal. I'm strange. What can I say? Here's hoping you get back to us. We're going to be talking to Rio, seeing what's going down, what needs to happen. But please tell me who's in charge. Is it you guys or is it Smith? Because I really need to know. And also, do you have any idea why I haven't been able to find any trace of my grotto? Anyways, they're looking at me weird. I'll talk to you later.
Do you actually want to send that to them?
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Oh,
It's probably good you
Hatdan
didn't get
already,
it from
like,
Drax.
I thought we established that we weren't going to do any of the racist jokes.
It's probably good you didn't get it from Drac, because half would be like, is it on? I do not think this is on. Is that the button I'm supposed to hit? Okay, I think I turned it back on, but is this the one
I
I'm
could
supposed to hit?
fake
Is
the
this
stream
supposed to
dying
be
again
done?
for Drac doing it.
Just-
Oh no, I don't think it's on. I think this button will put it on, and then the message ends.
Yeah.
Just want BBs to consist of no.
Yeah.
Oh, this is pretty interesting.
No.
Good donut.
No.
What flavor are
Geez,
you?
I'm running low on coffee. Better brew another pot.
And you know, there's this little like counter of files that have rolled over into the next file, and you can't really tell where one ends and the next one begins because it all consists of the same activity. Well, they told me to record important thoughts, and I do that while I'm eating.
No.
Just figures the device is doing it for him.
There's an internal company channel of BB Refuse. It's just food reviews from BB.
Good donut, eh?
Yeah, I'm also just, it tastes pretty good.
Yeah, I'd get this again.
It's a damning review because it's okay.
Your business is done.
I prefer a cooler.
Oh.
Okay. So your actual meetup with Rio will begin basically nowish. She has you guys down at a temporary headquarters, so to
Didn't
speak.
we
It looks like it's
let off with her being in our room last time?
yeah. We're resuming having traveled a little bit.
Okay, so she's having us relocate.
Yeah, this is going to be where you're basically reporting to work. Or at least for this first assignment. It appears to be a sort of temporary office that she has set up downtown that isn't related to the IRPF or anything like that. It's just in a building. Actually takes a little doing to get Drachert in there in his current form. They can work it out. He has to kind of muscle his way through the door frame. The hallway is no fun. You look down that hallway and it's just sort of like occurs to you what you've done with your life and all the decisions that may have led to you having to basically commando crawl through this hallway to get through. But you managed to get sideways through the door and sit in a corner with a hunched head. You can sit down okay and be all right. They'll have a giant beanbag chair for you. And she will be up near the front with a kind of display interface and a computer and a few things set up to talk about, and says, all right, well, now that I've got you all here today, we're going to be performing a little bit of an exercise, an operation that I've been working on for a while now that I have outside of the IRPF that I can't involve them with for reasons that will probably become clear fairly soon once you get there. Unfortunately, we are going to have to, and she chuckles a little bit. This is the first time I've had to actually talk about this to anyone. It's good. Actually, it's good. It'll make me justify my actions a little bit. She flicks her tail in moderate annoyance and clears her throat. A little about myself. I used to run the precinct down here for, God, most of my life. I only recently stopped being the commander over here and getting used to being freelance, I suppose you'd say. It's been a little eye-opening. I suppose we're in the same boat there. I knew most of you, Boo, back when you were different people. I've had to deal with resets before, so this isn't entirely new, but it will take a little time to get used to the idea of you not having the same personalities you had before. Bear with me. And she pauses for a minute as though expecting the bear to say something, and then corrects herself when it doesn't happen right away. Like apparently that was something he should have caught.
I thought we weren't doing the racist
The awkward
joke.
silence, crickets.
There's that exchange of looks going between all of us. Like,
Yeah.
is this supposed to be funny?
Right.
Wait.
and
Well,
She
we're
coughs a
not
minute.
on a boat right now.
who are you?
I'm BB.
Oh, that's cute. Okay. BB. Sorry, I didn't meet a BB.
What?
Well, he went by a different name when I knew him.
Oh, okay.
This
What did he go
was-
by?
We were only, actually, we use his real name so rarely that I don't know it anymore. Is it actually Ben? I thought it was Ben, wasn't it?
Benton
His
is
name's
his first name out.
Right. So Benton was the one that she knew him by.
How'd you go by Benton? BB's a cooler name.
I don't know. I usually
Was the coffee
really
still
always
around?
gone by BB.
No, the round coffee is new. It's really caught on though. She's looking over at her own cup that she ordered from an entirely different machine today. It is also round.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, you started.
I think it is because Benton is how you say more formal sounding.
No.
That
Were you
was
trying to
my
be more
dad's
regal?
name.
Was your dad's name?
Yeah.
Well, I guess in a way the
look
previous
of
phone.
help me towards Rio.
Is there anything else you can tell us about ourselves?
Nothing that I probably should. She says, wandering over.
Well, just because you technically haven't signed anything yet, right? I mean, first we know, right? So
she scratches
just
her head
as
a
a
little bit
thing,
and says-
this is a thing. Do you know the names of Drachert's new grandchildren? Because this is really important.
Oh, I could probably check. She says, pondering that.
I mean, we don't know anything about our families or anything, and I think that would be really nice for. And she kind of casts a look over at Drachert for him to know about his family, even though he can't contact them.
I know mine's supposedly dead.
Sometimes maybe
Aren't you just a little ray of sunshine?
There's an emotionless smile from Tisa.
She has this sympathetic look as she kind of looks around, going like the vaguer realization of there has been an awful lot of life that has been dropped here, and folks who are looking at her can do a community perceive and search to kind of read what she's looking at.
Give me a second. I didn't open my character sheet because I'm not a good person apparently today. Apparently, I was late for game. I screwed up streaming. I've just been horrible. Nobody loves me. Okay, so community perceive, you said?
Mhm.
And search? Or something else?
Yeah. Search.
Okay, so search,
Wait.
so it's Boone. It's a 3, 12, 4. I might know.
Penny's got a pretty high one there.
I'm also
so
looking
it's
at her
actually-
like a hawk when she talks and does anything. She's very interesting to Penny for reasons.
Yeah, the
Eldritch
problem
horror
with
to you.
pennies is, even though that pennies is a very adept thing, you're not really getting a whole lot of clear conversation for her. You can see a normal person standing there in front of her and hear her talking, but as she moves,
I don't think I saw shit.
yeah. But BB's looking at the coffee, going, it is round. As though this is the first time he's noticed.
Huh, round coffee, you say?
But Penny, it's sort of like watching just mistaken renders, just kind of renderers as she's walking. She will move and then like there'll be a frame skip or something, or the wall behind her just won't.
She basically does
texture
a lot of the
properly.
weird shit my reflection used to do.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to that. At least that's the first place that your brain jumps to in terms of like what this kind of looks like is what you're.
It's your only frame of reference.
It's my well that was kind of how I was kind of giving the visual for it. Was kind of like it was almost like a recording that was like stuttering sometimes, or having to catch up, and that kind of a weird effect was what her reflection was sometimes doing, and also being kind of weird and shapeless sometimes.
What you're getting from her expressions are difficult to translate, but Drachert gets a reasonable idea of some of the things that he's saying as she sort of looks around. She seems to linger on Tisa, and there's this degree of sympathy that's in her mind. Like maybe there's some collaboration here with some of the stories that you've been hearing, because it seems like a lot of things may have gone wrong in that area. She looks over at BB, and there's a little bit of an amusement, like perhaps the BB she knew was a somewhat more like leadership role one than the one is there now. She doesn't seem like
One more
put out
collected.
by it or anything. It's just it's kind of funny to see him in a different lens than when she knew him some 7 years in the future from his current state.
He was totally a suave leader.
He was basically
and-
Ricardo.
The name's
but
BB.
When the only one that kind of seems to put confusion on her face is actually when she looks at Toberius. There is this. It's pretty subtle, like she's not going ooh and tinelling in the quarter. But if you were going to put a look to like one of these people doesn't belong, it passes over when she notices him. There is a more pronounced look of concern when she looks at Drachert specifically. Like if one of these people shouldn't be here because of some weird anomaly, it was Tiberius. If one of these people shouldn't be here because there's a danger involved, it seems to be looking at it when she looks at the bear. But it's all just kind of little glances and stuff that you pick up over the course of her conversation. And she continues without really skipping a beat. The only thing that she isn't really looking at deliberately is Penny. In fact, that's fairly common for micro unless somebody's outwardly staring on them. But she seems to glance over her quickly and not
Poltergeist
on
on her.
her. Yeah, or it would be a little bit of a stretch to say that she's maintaining a radiance of distance from her, because she's standing pretty much the same distance from everybody, but you certainly don't see her approach that area. So she goes on to talk about what she's done for the group in the past. She's led a few missions. She took over for Lynn when Lynn was pregnant, or not pregnant, but was raising the kids when they were younger, because they were adopted when they were about 5-ish, or 4 or 5 or something like that, and they were basically homeschooled for a while, and then took on the majority of that stuff. Tisa was doing kind of a mix between that and staying with the team. There was some lesser projects that took place during that period. And then she was ultimately dismissed due to some outside tip that they didn't want to take a risk with. That's what she said.
She nods.
But apparently said situation has passed, and they are looking to kind of bring her back in. So she leans back a little bit and says, so in the meantime, I've had a project going on that I think you may have something to do with now, whether or not you would want it to. Conveniently, Aiden told you to avoid the any pursuit of your missing comrade, but your missing comrade happens to be an old friend of mine, and I'd like to get her back and have no such orders. So let's have a look at this. And she brings up a picture of the warehouse that you were at before, and some pictures of the people who were in it, specifically a fuzzy image of the small rodent that was there before, and then the large of the tar in the corner. And says, these two are old friends of mine. I didn't realize that they were going to be dealing with you when they arrived here, but this was part of a joint operation. I took them off to give them the tip that brought them to this planet to begin with.
Do you know what the one in the crate looks like?
Oh, you're talking about the person who talked to you, right?
Yeah, the one in the crate.
She shook her head. Well, she kind of nods a little bit, and she brings up basically a police profile in which you can see an annoyed-looking snake that is kind of like sticking out her tongue at a camera. It looks like she was brought up for vagrancy or petty theft or something in the past. She says nothing new. It's an old friend of the
like
family.
18 counts of jaywalking. I didn't know snakes could do that.
She's got.
It's very difficult, but it's possible. The first you have to go, wait, you're not asking a question, are you?
Was she sick? Is that why she's sticking her tongue out?
Yeah, BB, that's probably what it is. She's probably sick in the head.
She chuckles a little bit and says she's apparently a friend of the family at this point and has accompanied them through a series of rather extravagant adventures. She says, shaking her head in a degree of amusement and disappointment at the same time. Essel used to be a colleague. I'd actually lost contact with her for a long time, but
is that the Tor?
No, she points over to the other micro.
Oh.
And says she tapped my contacts when her daughter went missing recently with this new situation where people are recruiting aggressively.
Her daughter went
There's
missing?
actually this sudden stunned look of that.
Wait.
That's her.
She points up at the other one.
And then she kind of scratches the back of her head
That
and then
is
goes,
adoption,
genetics
yes?
is weird and things can happen.
Drac just kind of looks, scratches his chin, and goes, that is adoption.
I've just
yes?
really I didn't know very many micros that would have printed a Tor child for themselves. That's kind of interesting.
She was found during a mission actually under my particular employee. It was brave of her to take it, but she was always a little brave. she grins a little bit. She survived. That's what counts. Helped bring down a master criminal.
Right. How old are these operatives of yours?
Essel worked with me about 10 years ago. It'd be like 10 or 12 at this point, wouldn't it?
So you've known them a long while, off and on.
Off and on. She nods a little bit. I haven't actually seen either one of them until fairly recently. There was a long period there when they were working on their own thing. Daydreamer had gone back to school. This whole she kind of gestures to the entirety of the.
Penny's gonna kind of snort and giggle at the name Daydreamer for a Tor.
So this was all a fairly recent occurrence that stemmed out of a previous mission of theirs that they soloed, so to speak. Had a smaller team with them and kept the authorities out of. I feel like we probably could have helped, but they had reasons for keeping it quiet. In the meantime, they've taken it upon themselves to try to shut this operation down, and I, in my waning retirement, she says in a somewhat amused tone, have decided to help them. My information led me to a possible opportunity to catch our criminals here, and we were all bamboozled. She tisks with annoyance, but then claps her hand together and kind of scrubs her palm and says, "But thanks to you guys, I now know why." And she brings back the image of Lynn the first time, which is just a picture you've seen of her before, some basic on-file operational image. And said, this explains a lot of things about some strange data I've been getting lately about who is going where and why. It seems like Lynn is attempting to contact you. This is a very difficult thing to do for somebody who is presumably in her position. If it's anything like what happened today, the operation they do scrambles the communication centers of your brain, makes it so that you can't read, can't write, or you can read, you can't write, you can't communicate anyway, because everything you think you're saying is correct, but everything that comes out of you is completely jumbled. They tend to manifest in the form of musical notes. But Lynn is apparently working through a cipher that she established a while back to try to drop notes to her partner, who she is assuming is in some degree intact. And she says, looking back at Tisa, and says that may not be the case, but at least we caught onto the code. We can start following that.
This language scrambling, can it be fixed?
She shrugs and says, at the moment, Day is being difficult in that respect. She smiles a little bit and says she was very young when she was over here, but even then she had a bit of a adventurous streak. She's not particularly interested in being sitting on the sidelines and seeing a doctor when there is a job to get finished. So we're doing what we can for research between deployments, but at the moment she's one of the more powerful fixtures we've got. I don't have an entire army at my call anymore, and while I pull a lot of weight at the RPF office, I tend not to interfere with their affairs. I never appreciated it when the previous boss did it with me.
Penny's gonna nod. Okay, so we're gonna work with them?
A little bit. You're going to work with me, and I'm going to work with them.
Okay.
I have a lead, and she brings up looks like a small company. You've
Do they
actually
know we're
seen
working
the name
with you?
before? She shakes her. She nods and says, "They know you're working with a person who looks like me, but I'm going under an assumed identity with them." This is you actually recognize the logo. You've seen it all over the place around here. Who's got? This is pretty recent, so we're just gonna have to do like people who've been noticing around. Who's been looking around at random stuff? Drax's been walking
I
around a
measure
lot.
everything, and I walked
I've
for an entire
been
night.
crawling
Okay, so everybody just go ahead and do a mind perceive and search and just see if you've noticed this before.
Maybe. No.
Damn it!
Just double checking my stats.
Yeah.
Mind, perceive, and search, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a 3,
I'm astounded.
12.
I need to stop rolling ones.
I paid really
You
close
might have
attention
actually
that one
noticed
night.
something.
Yeah. So a few of you know, Drac notices, Sam notices, and everybody else manages to get a little bit of flub. The 8 won't quite do it. It's a little more obscure. You've seen advertisements for this place all over the place popping up, and you've actually heard it in casual conversation. It's like a donut joint. It's a coffee joint. But whatever substance they've concocted, whatever nectar of the gods they've placed in their cups is so dramatically flavorful and astounding that it is like not even a competitor for things that are around. It has redefined what coffee is supposed to taste like. And it's getting lines around the block. The recipe hasn't been duplicated anywhere. It's only available here. They're resisting attempts from other larger companies to buy it. Because they figure they've got a major moneymaker on their hands. They've got some investors coming in that are providing them with some dramatic funding to get a larger start. But they've got a real product that is supposedly transcendent in terms of taste bud goodness. And you can actually see one. There's an empty cup sitting on Rio's desk of said coffee. So they're Starbucking it up. But she nods and says, this is a company that I believe is related. I think one of their investors is actually the people that we're looking for. But I'm not entirely sure how one correlates to the other just now. They wouldn't be investing unless they were using the return money for some sort of, there's a reason they picked this business, and I need to know who they're talking through. And I figure the best way to assist them is to get in a position where they don't have much choice but to trust us. And she brings up an IRPF schedule, and there is a reserved time slot for about a day from now wherein the area for the headquarters for this business is going to go hot because a local company wants to take them over and has been rebuked enough times that they've decided to get violent about it.
Oh, Hatdan.
Yeah, so they're going to do it. It's not. It's actually a pretty high tier one because the investment backing behind this company is substantial. Like a lot of people,
They can afford to actually meet the
they can afford to meet the
forces that have been sent in.
They don't have a standing military or anything else like that, so they're not prepared for this fight. And she's explaining this to you. She says they have the money, they can hire the people, but they don't know who to get, they don't know how to handle it, they don't know how to fortify it. So, we're their new guards.
And how has that been arranged?
They contracted me, or rather I approached them after I arranged this particular Hatsa.
Penny's like suddenly coughing on her coffee.
Are you okay?
It went down the wrong tube.
Astounded by Rio's business sense, I think.
I'm leaning over to
she smiles a
Tisa.
little bit and says, I used to have to do this a lot.
Oh, what's a hot zone, dear? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
2 corps going to war, essentially. It ranges in scale, but a lot of the time it's pre-arranged. Hostile takeover, quite literally.
He just has this look of the fuck.
Oh, that's right. It's rather controlled to make sure there isn't too much collateral civilian damage and so on.
Usually there's a big profit to be made as a result of it.
Well, they're hoping to take over the business-only assets, so they've sunk pretty heavily into making this work under some prompting. I wanted to make sure that the bait was pretty heavy, so they know that their business is at stake, and they view me as their current ticket to creating a proper mercenary team to defend them. I had some plans on using these ones, and she points back toward Essel and the Daydream Picture and stuff like that. But unfortunately, another team seems to have injured them rather heavily over the past night. She says, smiling, says, "So, I've got new recruits. Fate's a funny thing."
I did well.
Tisa looks like she doesn't believe that line.
Yeah. I hope they recover quick.
Oh, they'll be fine. This is convenient, though, because it means I can hold them in reserve. And it gives us an opportunity to do what Aiden wants to do anyway.
What's
Take over
that?
a coffee company?
Well, more work together and arrange real situations with actual jobs and such. But the coffee is very good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you like another?
Yeah, I think you've got your normal breed so far. You have not yet experienced the holy nectar that is the empty cup behind her. But she's like, you actually have to. You can't get these at regular buy slots. You have to go to one of their specific.
Has no
vending
one
machines
tried
to get it.
analyzing it yet, or I'm surprised.
Well, there's a lot of proprietary flack in there, so and substances that aren't particularly familiar. It has a lot of people baffled. But that's part of keeping, corporate secret is having ways to disguise that. That's what's happened to most of their money is finding ways to protect their formula. That's why they probably don't have, or that's why they don't currently have a very
Out
well
of character.
set up
This probably tastes like
defensive system.
motor oil, but it's such a unique experience for vectors. It's like freaking nectar of the gods.
Delicious motor oil. So she will point out the building and the stuff in it, and it says, we're going to go down here tonight, have a look around, begin scouting, and you guys can start drawing up plans. We'll figure out a good way to defend the location. We know when the hot zone will be in, and we have a rough idea of what they're going to bring. It's more or less akin to what we have. So basically, this is your keep. We're going to find out how to defend it.
Penny's just going to start idly flicking her measuring tape.
Why even bother defending it? Why not pull all the data from the building and gut everything?
I'm assuming
Well,
that the equipment in there is very,
their
very
whole
expensive.
infrastructure is tied up in this. Like all their physical assets and stuff are in there. It's their headquarters and stuff. It's not all just a bunch of files.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the
like
cost.
all their equipment. This is where their personnel are usually kept. This is like probably like,
Distribution and all their companies
yeah,
all operating
all
in
the
here.
stuff gets operated out of this one base. So if this base goes down, they don't have many backup buildings probably.
They're pretty
within-
new. They don't really have another headquarters around.
Yeah, they're a small company. This is why they get hot zoned.
Oh, those cute little startups.
I know they don't usually make it very long.
Well, typically they end up selling. It's these guys have kind of
Maybe
not
stubborn.
done that, yeah, or trying not to, which they do. She comments as you're sort of copying and stuff. They they do have a product to sell, but at the same time, it would be easier. They could just accept the check and stop. She thinks that one of the reasons why they're holding on is because they're high tier investors, specifically the ones that she's suspicious of, that she thinks might be directly connected to this Sentinel operation, require large income to be coming for a long period to be funding what they're trying to do. So she's hoping to follow that paper trail, but for that to work, they need to be in on it.
Do we have a particular identity working under you?
We're going to have to come up with some different titles. You fed some to the IRPF earlier, didn't you?
Yes, a moment team identity, corporate name or so on.
Please don't call us Blackwatch.
That would be a bad idea considering the current environment.
And I don't want to be called Genji either.
We'll call you Overwatch.
Why do we need a
We
name?
will be Overlook.
And I don't really know why we need a name. It's not like I'm sorry, but it's not like she has multiple teams that she has to differentiate between. She has her old friends, and then she has her newly reprinted acquaintances, and that's kind of what she has. You could call us the reprints, I guess.
It's more of the mind that a Merc group operating would have a corp name to, be taking all their finances through and so on.
Yeah.
A brand.
If we have a team A and team B, then you guys end up being the team B, right? And that's just no fun. You want to be team A.
No, I think
I'm
reprints is what we
BB.
should
I'm
be.
usually Team B.
Okay, we're gonna have team A and team 1.
No, why not just make it simpler? A team.
I like it. It's got a certain ring to it.
I
Marvelous.
can't help but think that it'll be problems with that.
Alright,
man.
well I've got my map mites ready to go when we want to do that.
Exactly how long until this is supposed to erupt?
We've got about 24 hours from now before it happens. So beginning of next
this arranged hot zone, did you arrange the other Merc group that's coming in? Or did you just whisper in the right ears?
Uh-oh. Oh no.
Did I lose connection?
No, you're fine. I think Seb went boom.
So he's just...
Yeah.
I know my connection went really bad for a moment there, too.
I will change Discord server just in case it's set.
Okay.
There.
I'm going to step away from the computer for a moment, but unplug my headphones so I can hear you people while I'm away from it.
Okay.
Okay.
Should we take this opportunity for a brief
Yep,
potty break?
Potty break time. Potty break.
Oh,
Hello.
yeah. This may happen more than once. Just the freaking Discord's been crap with me lately.
That's okay, we called the potty break.
Oh, okay. Do people go potty?
Yep.
All right, then I'll be right back.
Down into reads.
I plug my headphone back in and my connection goes bad.
Mhm.
Well, and just lost Svi again.
Oh,
Oh,
was
welcome
feedback and then gone
Alec.
again?
Yeah, he got back about the exact moment we left.
Ah,
And here he's back again for the
Yeah.
moment.
Train. Here we go.
connection being butts.
Yeah. Wish I knew what was up with this. Anyhow, are we all back?
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Mm.
No Sam yet. Still playing the intermission tune, too. So, Ali, are you ready to create city-wide destruction akin to that One Necessary Evil game?
Please no.
I'll be honest, I don't think we actually have the capability to be that destructive with this group.
Challenge accepted.
You all get 600 experience.
I'm back.
Hey.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
Is Toby here?
I don't know.
Yes.
Okay.
You're just both really
Hey.
quiet, so I thought I'd ask.
Next, you need 4 days. Okay, good. Okay. I ended up getting cut out mid message. So, what was the last thing that was said?
I think I said something about did you arrange the people too that were coming?
The opposing team.
Oh, she shakes her head. No, but I know the most likely people to take the jobs in the local area, and she'll bring up a list of several different merc groups that are basically nearby. And so there's a variety of different options here. These guys specialize in cyber warfare. I don't really think they'll go for this. They're planning a stab and grab, so I think they're going to use somebody who's distinctly more physical. I suspect these guys. She points to a kind of profile of this rugged-looking rat fellow. Most of them look fairly the same, so he's distinct in the earpiece that he's wearing. And he says they run a pretty tight operation, but they're a little wild in combat. They just tend to work cheap and get decent results for their cost. It's the sort of group that would step up first for a job that looks like an easy push. They're not to be taken lightly, but I think you can handle them.
Okay. Well, what's the soonest we can check out our holdout?
She nods and says, "We have an appointment to head down there in an hour. We can stay around for as long as we need to. And there will be a window beginning the next day. I do recommend you all sleep rather than staying up all night. Well, most of you anyway."
I look forward to working with you. There's a hopefully turn out well.
She smiles and shakes whatever extended tentacle may occur. I suppose. So and she kind of looks at the time that's portrayed on the screen there and says, "So, who wants coffee?"
Sure, I'll have coffee.
Oh, please, yes.
And she will begin this kind of trek toward the door.
Get up and follow along.
Trundle.
We'll shrug and follow.
Penny's gonna hang back more with Drac. And it's a very kind of a weird, leery way of her doing it. Like she's trying to hang back with him while he walks.
She's got a crush. I mean,
She's gonna get crushed? Yeah, that's about right.
Because, it takes him a little extra time, I'm assuming, to get out. I mean, he's fast, and he can cover a lot of distance, but he's having to squeeze through openings and stuff. Right?
The door frames are a little tough.
Harder for a very large thing to get out of a very small place.
Yeah, so she's going to try to assist you as much as possible by telling you more that way. No. Okay, go back in. No. Yeah, no, nah, yeah. Okay, good. No, stop. Okay, your left. Good. You're getting that from Penny, and she's kind of keeping an eye, as everybody else is kind of going away, and she's going to kind of aside to Drachert. She assumes you are capable of, having a soft conversation with her, but she's not really sure, so she's going to try. So, Drac, I'm sorry.
For what?
I know I'm avoiding you lately, and it's not your fault, okay?
It is because I am big, yes?
Yeah, it's, you're really kind of scary, in a way. But I shouldn't be, because it's not like I don't deal with really big things all the time. And she kind of gets this look in her eye, like, hello, darkness, my old friend. I've seen some shit, do.
It's probably worth noting that every time he stomps, you kind of jump a little bit.
Yeah. I go, but I know you wouldn't. I know you wouldn't try to hurt me or anything like that.
Jesus Christ, his hand! Penny, his hand is coming!
No.
Drac is actually offering a hand for her to climb on if she wants.
No, she's gonna. No, it's fine. Now I'll get a nosebleed going up that high, man.
That is fair.
But I just want you to know. I know it's probably not helping with everything going on, and I'm sorry I'm not really good at helping you with. That really sucks. That your print got messed up and you have. I mean hooves are cool, but I'm sorry that you keep getting messed with. That's not okay. It means it's not okay for somebody to mess with you against your will. I'm sorry. If I knew how to make it stop, I'd love to help make it stop. But I just realized I'm not very good at having friends, and I want to be better at it. And I'm sorry, okay? And I just wanted you to know that.
It is understandable. I admittedly am not a fan of changes, but at the same time, as far as I can tell, first time it happened is when I went from being just plain lateral to being able to have hands and hold things and be able to do more than I have ever been able to previously.
It occurs to you that you may be slowly
good
becoming
with
a horse.
Slowly becoming a little
It
horse.
has severe good with bad, and it is hard to take one without the other.
It's just I know what it's like when loss of control is really hard, and I just want you to know, I know you chose that. You kind of just gestures big to go that way, and I want you to know that even though it kind of scares me a little bit, I'm going to try and ease myself into being more comfortable with it. But I'm nervous about fall damage. But
it's admittedly done primarily so that if enemies see big me, they don't see little you or little Tisa or little Toberius.
You just hit a chandelier with your head, by the way.
Ooh, sorry. Should have told you about that one.
It's slightly kind of shakes his head and continues on.
Yeah.
That way, they shoot more bullets my way. I am built to take it.
I know. I just don't want you to feel bad or like I don't like you or something, because I think I mean, clearly we've been working together for a long time, and I'd like to think we would have been friends. I mean, Keel and Aiden said that our group was friends, right? So, I mean, it's a lot to. I feel like I have so much to catch up on with you. Like I'm supposed to have all this already figured out for what we're doing, and I don't. And I'm really frustrated because there's all this information that I really like to have my information in order because it helps me prepare. And I've lost 10 years of information, and it's very upsetting to me.
We all have. It is a thing we are having to deal with.
And I hope we can find out more about your family for you, because I realize that you seem like, I mean, I've seen the pictures. You have a really big family, and she's kind of just a really big family.
It is how my family is my parents were obviously surprised when many of my other siblings did not have as many kids. Because I am one of 6 or 7. And 6 now, 7 before, but... And...
Well, it's been really great having all those siblings.
Yeah, blessing and curse. Admittedly, had many lonely times, especially after one died under my watch.
And Drac, if I ever do anything that you think's not right, you'll tell me, right?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Okay. Well, let's get you out this door.
No, you're still stuck for a little while. You had to take the freight elevator, and it's slow going.
Let's just break this elevator.
The knees go straight up.
Yep.
It will eventually make it down to the bottom, where you can meet up with everybody else. In the meantime, while everybody else is walking, Rio will kind of come along inside Toberius and say, "So did they tell you why they brought you back?" She was she just shrugs and says, "I was just surprised to see you here reset." Did they say why the previous you was brought back into the organization?
Brought back? They never said I left.
She ahs and nods a little bit, and there's this brief moment where she's kind of pondering like whether or not she should have said anything, but at the second time she's sort of like, well, this is kind of standard conversation. If they really wanted to like blacklist this, they probably should have ticketed it specifically, and shakes her head and says, actually, the last I'd heard about you, you had been fired about the same time I had.
Interesting.
She nods and says, I don't know any conditions about it. We were both taken off for security risk reasons, unrelated. She says, shaking her hand, but I guess whatever was related with yours cleared up before mine did, or they needed to bring you back for another reason. I didn't have much contact with them after that, so.
I couldn't say. They didn't say anything about that. They were talking like I was with the team the entire time.
Well, that's not terribly surprising. She says sort of dismissively, there's a general rule in a situation like this where you don't provide information that's going to lead to more questions that makes you have to say no more often. It just breeds bitterness and it causes an issue. If there was a security issue before that has since been resolved, then they would have no reason to bring it up again, as it's no longer a problem. I was just kind of surprised to see you around. Bad timing, I guess. She says, chuckling, it's a shame you ended up going back to them only to get blown up.
This begs even more questions now.
She nods and says, that's probably why it wasn't brought up before. Don't stress yourself too hard about it. It's like I said, if it were still an issue, you probably wouldn't be back.
Oh, it feels like one of the, he air quotes, commanders is already trying to dump me.
She looks kind of quirky at that and says, who?
He's actually struggling not to badmouth someone. A badger by the name of Smith, who's been, well, badgering me.
Oh, Smith, he was, Penny knew him. She ponders a little bit, and that's interesting. I didn't have too much relation with him. He is part of their hierarchy, but he typically handles more the transcendent side than the physical side. I wonder if he's become a larger operator.
Oh, he was all over me. Or at least my opinion, he was all over me.
Bump. Right?
Eyebrow waggle.
Mm.
And she goes,
You go,
it's worth
girl.
a task. Where are they right now?
Who?
Aiden and Keel.
Don't know.
Oh, that's concerning.
They're supposedly on their way here, but I haven't heard back from them, and, well, I sent communications off to them via, well, secure channels, and I would think I left them an encryption key.
She shrugs and says, well, without knowing what route they're taking, I'm not entirely sure. Typically, they stay off the standard one in order to not bring people directly back to the point that they originated from, so they may just not have access to an actual wire until they cross back into a standard orbit again. We'll find out soon enough. It shouldn't be too much longer before they get here. And then she will bring us out to the city area, and with a bit of a jot, she actually stays on the ground. It is a bit of a walk to get to where you're going, but she seems content to walk it. She's not hailing a cab or anything like that, and doesn't mention anything about it either. Somebody could ask if they want to, but she's just sort of walking forward.
She's just happy to walk.
Yeah. And she's not looking about the city, but you do get the idea that she's been here for a long time. She seems to know the corners and the areas that are in it and stuff, but it gives you an opportunity to kind of take the place in and see some routes to different areas, gain a degree of familiarity
Penny's in
with this
walking
running.
hell.
Yeah, it is a little rough on you unless you want to get a ride.
Tisa is sort of lighting up as her little hollow emitters come on. You know, it's a bit of a disguise, if a very distracting one.
Oh, we always thought that Tisa needed to lighten up.
Penny, dear, are you okay walking?
Every time Drac takes a step, I go up like a foot and a half.
I'm sure me or BB could give you a ride if you would like.
That's okay. I should walk. Walking is good. It's really good information to walk.
Yeah, just grab hold of his tail. Oh.
Walking is pretty healthy and good for you.
I'll walk.
Well, if you get too worn out, just let us know, dear.
It is a scamper to keep up with people. Meantime, for Drac, he's kind of getting to notice now that like having a stride over this big is really kind of a meander at this point. It's like, oh, this is tough to not walk normally because your normal walk is pretty much run. But you will eventually come across to a kiosk that has a substantial line around it, and it's got like 4 different dispensers on it, but there's quite a few people nearby. And apparently there is a reserve system, so like as she approaches, another sort of coffee cup comes out of the side that she apparently ordered earlier, or something like that. And she gestures at BB and says, "Here, get to know your product."
Oh, thank you.
It's not round.
It's not round, the bastards. But there you can actually see on the advertisement round coming soon.
Oh, not round, eh? Okay.
As let's see how closely BB's paying attention. Do a mind perceive and logic.
Ooh, logic.
Ooh, good job, BB. Have fun with that.
Okay, so what I need to do is...
Nope.
Well, much better than I expected.
How did you get a 1 boosted to 7?
Huh?
Isn't the red a 1?
No, it's a 7. This is just his dice roll.
Okay.
It's not a red number. It's just yeah.
Okay.
It's
His
a red
background is
die.
actually red.
Oh, the red bordered number thing is the
Yeah, that's the dice.
Okay. It's just
Yeah.
the dice is
I
red.
think they
Okay.
changed that recently because I don't remember it being. I thought it was blue previously. I don't remember.
I
It
think
might
it
change per
depends
person.
on what
Maybe.
your color might be.
Because there's some yellow up there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what it is. It's based on what
a
your
per
color
person
is.
thing.
Wonder what my
Okay,
color is.
so yeah, you don't notice anything peculiar as you pick it up, but you go to taste it, and the smell already is really different from what you're used to.
Oh, is this a special flavor of some kind?
Well, that's what they say about the entire brand. Try it out.
Okay.
And it is distinctly different to the point that it actually puts you off to begin with. Like, this isn't the coffee that I'm used to. What blasphemy is this? But there's a degree of richness and complexity to it that lingers just so much more than what was there before. There's a sweetness, there's an additional bitterness, there's all sorts of stuff in there that you're just not familiar with being coffee. It's a flavor extravaganza.
Svi, are you just going to reveal now that you're actually launching your own coffee brand and this has been a big advertisement for
By
it?
the way, HSD coffee in round cups coming soon.
Round cups, a
Round.
revolutionary concept.
Round.
It is. You can actually decide whether or not he likes it or not, but it's way different and bolder, I guess, than what's there before. And everybody else can have one too.
Penny's not going to take one.
Tisa's not
Sure,
going to
doesn't drink
bother.
coffee.
Penny doesn't appreciate the fact that because of how marketing works, she has to pay the same for her tiny cup of coffee as somebody who's getting the regular Victor size cup of coffee, so she's not doing it.
Man,
Toberius
that's
is
communism. Jeez.
Toberius is actually going to grab one, sniff at it a bit, start sipping, and start puffing up a little bit.
Like he's allergic to it.
No, his tail's going from normal size to getting a little bit bigger.
He's getting like an excited squirrel puff up thing where his
It's
fur's like fluff.
after a bit of a drink, you feel like it tastes less chemically. That's sort of what it's coming down to. It's hard to figure out what it is, but like with the normal coffee that you're used to, you can actually kind of pick out some of the stuff that's in it. You can even sort of get a taste of the caffeine. This just seems like a different substance. But it's definitely yummy. So you can
Rio.
see how people are kind of lining up for it, and she begins to lead you down toward where the headquarters are. Says this is what they're hoping to ride into to stardom. I don't know that they necessarily have a shot at Megacorp, but she shrugs. Stranger things have happened. The thing is, they're working awfully hard to defend it right now when they could easily just take some money and go home. My suspicion is it's the investors driving them more than the people who ran the thing. I've actually met the CEOs, and they're an interesting bunch. She kind of seems to muse a little bit. They have a lot of chemists, but a lot of chemists that they've hired are specifically to disguise their chemical formula, so I'm not sure who actually designed it to begin with. That's question number one. Number two is who it is that's cultivating it and perfecting the formulas, because again, while they keep their chemistry a secret, the names that they've picked up aren't necessarily in those fields. Their CEOs seem like people that have been better. They have a criminal history of smuggling that they've kept carefully under wraps. So they may be stealing it from somebody else, but I would think that by now whoever they were grabbing it from would have spoken up. So it's a bit of a mystery behind this. They have a very good PR department that's keeping a lot of it under wraps. I feel like if nothing else, even if there is completely unrelated to what we're looking for, there's definitely something at work here that deserves to be investigated.
Do you have any donuts to go along with this?
She says they sell them at the store. They're actually a little less impressive than their coffee is.
Oh.
But I think they're purchasing the local donut shop, so.
Oh.
There is
Hey,
a local
baby, you want to
donut
swing
shop.
by and see if we can get some donuts? Maybe some donut holes?
I don't know. She said they're not that good.
No, but we can
Maybe
stop
I'll
at
just go
someplace
with
else.
These donuts. Gonna pull out a couple donuts.
Oh, you still had some? Okay. Can I have a better one?
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
You are passing the local donut shop. Sam, do a body perceiving search.
Oh, okay. I have double simplify on search, so this is important for me. For reasons.
Yeah, pretty good. You were lifting the donut to your mouth. I was about to say you were lifting the donut to your mouse, and I was like, oh, that's inaccurate on a multiple levels.
Okay.
You were lifting the donut to your mouth as you were walking by the donut shop, and staring at you from behind the window is a poster of BB grinning and sporting round coffee. And the poster says, now serving round coffee.
Penny starts to make like a high-pitched noise and points.
Oh God! What is it?
Oh, are you okay?
Look at the poster!
Oh, Benton, dear, it's you.
And then right about then, the person in the coffee shop or the donut shop will come out looking all excited, be like, "Are you round coffee guy?"
Well, I do like the round coffee, yeah.
Oh my gosh! Come in! I give you donut. And
Okay.
they are laughing, and people are taking pictures next to the moose and lavishing him a donut box.
I'm gonna make sure I'm
Very
well away from anyone
funny,
taking
though.
pictures.
I am just like clapping my hands because this is exciting, and I basically just shoved that donut he gave me into my cheeks. My cheeks go out.
Rio, do contact me when
You
this
do
is
that
blown
hamster
over.
thing.
Yep. I did that hamster thing
Oh,
that
my
hamsters
goodness,
do.
Tisa's gonna slip away.
In the meantime, Rio is going to be kind of crossing her arms and looking a little more concerned. She kind of glances over to Drac and says, "Aren't you guys all dead?"
Drac?
Yeah, well, I assumed he was hanging back because you were in the middle of getting a bunch of donuts
Yeah.
and Penny was stuffing her face.
Oh, no, I was just saying that because he was quiet.
Technically, yes.
She goes, this may not be great.
It probably isn't, no.
BB, let's get a move on.
Oh, okay. Well, nice to meet you all.
Oh, yeah, thank you for round
thank
coffee.
you. Thank you for the donuts.
And they will wave as you kind of go down. She goes, okay, well, that'll be a thing to probably look at a little later.
Most likely.
And
Isn't that so cool? BB's like famous or something. They have like a poster of it back there.
Tisa's watching from further down the street, not being near that.
BB,
Derek
can you,
doesn't unfortunately,
oh no,
our
you guys
schools
don't have
keep
access
kind
to any of your
low
information, do you?
profile. We have nothing.
We don't have anything. They said that we couldn't possibly get a hold of it since we don't have the passwords to our personal information, and that they make us change it every month, so it's pretty much lost to forever now.
She nods a little bit and says and scratches her head and goes, I have a feeling.
That's why I was
Benton-
asking if you knew anything about Drachert's family, maybe that could be just personal stuff for him.
Oh yeah, I can check my records. She says, kind of chewing on a finger a little bit, like trying to figure out what to do about this current situation.
Is there a
Or
problem?
about that one. And she just only that we currently have a larger presence here than I was really hoping for us to have. We'll just hit the
She's
front
gonna
of
look over at Drac.
Not that one.
I
That
have a
one.
very important question.
Hmm.
Did any of you look closely at that image?
Not really. Why?
I'm wondering if that's our Drac or a 10 years older Drac.
It was BB that was in the image.
BB, rather. Yeah.
I'm not sure if I could tell the difference, honestly.
It looked like
Fresh.
actually no, it would essentially be photoshopped. So yeah, it would probably look a little bit older. And she says, "No, the brown coffee just showed up. When did you come up with this?" She asked, looking back at BB.
I didn't really.
Penny's gonna kind
I
of
think
raise her hand kind of weakly.
I think he kind of...
He was
Wandered
having
into
trouble
it
with the
about
coffee machine, and he was
half
trying to
a dozen
reprogram it. So then I did it because he really wanted it a certain way, and then I did really good, but then everything started coming up round, and it's been going everywhere since.
Oh, you did it?
Yeah,
Oh,
they told me not to play with the machines anymore on any of the ships.
She laughs a little bit, and it's the first time that you actually kind of see her laugh directly with Penny, because this is the longer conversation she's had with her specifically. And she goes, "Oh, Penny, I think you missed out on the payout. BB, could you check your bank account?"
I guess. Try and access that information.
Maybe get to our bank accounts.
Yeah, because you had money that was being
Okay.
stored through your new stuff, right? And it looks like nobody else has anything particularly extra in there, but BB's got 2,500 extra credits in there.
My God.
Oh.
That just popped up. She goes, "Yeah, I have a feeling your previous you, probably all of your previous years, because this is pretty standard, had a contingent set up wherein if you had an idea that looked marketable, somebody could credit you, get the payoff, and exploit it if they wanted to go through the legwork. Seems like somebody on your ship did that."
Congratulations, BB! Money!
No, but that's putting our faces out there. That's
Yeah, that makes BB fairly recognizable at this point. I think it's not going to interfere our current operation, but we may have to deal with it down the line. I mean, the money's
hard enough
nice.
hiding me. Now that we have a co-worker easily identifiable as well.
Well, the nice part is there's nothing currently linking BB to the scene of the explosion, at least not that I've seen. So he's not wanted for anything other than a currently existing when he ought to be dead.
Is it possible to do a cease and desist on his likeness?
That's
Possibly.
what contract he signed.
Yeah, we'll have to find out what's currently on file for him.
And then the TV in the area lights up saying, "This just in, we have found new footage of a waving moose."
Oh, hey!
Wacky waving
Hello.
inflatable moose man.
Beauty of a bomb, eh? Okay, yeah.
So you will end up at the work site fairly soon. It's a decent sized building. It's not enormous. But it's actually, let's see, how old are these guys? They're kind of not success. I'm gonna say it is a big building. It's not Trump Tower, but it's big. It's got.
Is it big enough Drachert can come through the front doors?
Yeah, and, it's got a large lobby. It's probably 20 stories tall.
Yes.
And the individual hallways might not be that good, but it's got this nice social area and plenty of space to kind of work, and it smells rich and creamy. And you're greeted on entry by somebody who is very alarmed when they see the giant thing walking behind you, and also Drachert.
Ah!
That's the thing is, I've probably had this thing of Penny was alarmed about Drachert, but at the same time she's dealing with Godzillas that she's seeing walking around outside, so she's probably like, Drachert's not that scary. There are scarier shit than Drachert.
It is a motley crew that walks through this door, and they're not playing instruments, so don't go there, Hatdan.
Okay.
So they come through, and you are greeted by the receptionist, who is apparently immediately contacting sort of higher folks, because this seems like it may be an issue.
Penny, meanwhile, is going to be basically taking a picture of Benton and then trying to get him to sign it on her toggle.
Okay.
Thank you.
Benton, you may not be physically able to touch her toggle in such a way that would allow you to sign it.
All right, I'm going to send it to you digitally and
That
ask you to sign it on
is
your
a
toggle.
line that is going to be taken out of context in the future.
All right, I'm going to send it to you on your toggle and ask you to sign it.
Okay.
Ignore the fine print that says Penny gets half the assets that you get from Sarah's. Penny's like completely pleased about this.
Round coffee, so
No. Penny wants none of that money. That was a freak accident between the two of us playing out the coffee maker. She doesn't want
You
that.
just hear Penny whispering, "That's blood money."
Yeah.
oh no. What is the coffee made out of?
Okay, happy, smiley, hollow face. Try to look, really, really not threatening. Slouch a bit more. Might be disconcerting in itself.
Penny's going to perch up on BB for now, so just save time and effort for moving around.
Okay.
She does have that long pausing moment where she looks at Rio like she's thinking about it, but she's definitely also not thinking about it. Goes right for BB.
Oh.
Shortly, there will be a pair of people that come down from the elevators. What are we going to make these guys? I think one of them's going to be...
A chinchilla.
Baron Bird. Baron Bird. Baron Bird.
Baron Bird? Baron Bird. It's Baron Bird coffee. Sure.
I just really want to make a Gazay reference.
No.
Rio.
What? Yes.
We're a team you've hired, right?
Yes.
She's
Guys, who's team lead?
Well, me. You're my team, supposedly.
Okay, so you hired your team.
Yes.
Cool.
She'll step forward and talk to them briefly, sort of out of news, and you guys can stand in the lobby a little bit, and then we'll approach you not long after that. One of them is...
I'm raiding Benton Moose Hair.
There's a bear and a bird, because it was requested. The bear is... We'll make it a panda. We haven't had one yet. They'll have a panda who does not have the kind of stereotypical stocky build to them necessarily. So they look sort of, at least to Drac, they almost look like they're not wearing the fur properly, because they're a little on the skinny side, like you should eat more borscht, sort of thing. And then the bird, on the other hand, looks almost a little too scrappy, I guess, for the suit that he's currently wearing. He's dressed like he's, the guy running this company's CEO is sort of nicely dressed looking, but the beak is scuffed in a way that clearly just speaks to you of physical contact, like he's been in a share of fights.
He looks like more like a god in a suit.
Yeah, it's sort of like neither one of these people really look like they're terribly comfortable here. The bear more than the bird does. The bird looks a little bit more like he's has been placed in this suit. We'll say, what breed do we want for this guy? You want like a cockatoo? That's scary.
Cockatiel.
No. Cockatoo.
Oh.
Okay,
Cockatoos
sure.
are pretty scary because of that movie Rio.
Cockatoos are pretty scary because they were dinosaurs that remove your figures.
Just because I have that song in my head.
I just want, if you do it, he has to have that little frill go up every once in a while when he's upset.
You want scary? A condor.
He's a crazed Putu.
Okay.
Oh God.
I can't look at him. That explains why he looks really out of place in that suit.
We'll make him a condor. It's kind of scary looking. So yeah, he's a fairly big guy. But both of them are approaching you, as with Rio on the front, and she says, "Come on back," and leads you toward a back sort of meeting area, so that you're not all standing around in the lobby. It takes Drachert a second to get through it. And she says, "All right, so these are they." And she introduced you guys by the fake names that you picked, which have escaped me for most of you at the moment.
BB.
I'm Claire.
There. And she'll go down the line for everybody rather than having you speak. But Penny, what was your fake name? Do you remember?
Felicia.
Felicia. All right, so we got Claire and Felicia, and then Toberius was...
Actually, technically, if we're going by the one that Toberius picked for me, he picked Pennywise, I believe.
Yes.
And the name I had picked in the previous mission was Felicia.
The one we have an ID for is Pennywise, though, right?
Yeah.
All right, so here's this clown. And then Toberius is over here with what name?
TB.
Okay. And then TB and BB. You can see her getting more and more concerned as she goes down the list of names.
Penny is giving her the sad look of, I didn't pick this name.
Pennywise, so Penny for short.
Penny is for short. Oh.
Peter.
Peter Griffin.
Griffin.
Peter Griffin. Wait, damn it.
So she goes through and introduces them and takes a moment to assure herself that it will all be fine.
Nobody asked
Oh,
what
they
Drax's
sell
name
insurance
is.
for that now?
Yeah.
That's nice.
It can't be seen behind the hologram smiling face, but Tisa is also having looks of dread.
You're getting a message on your toggle, Tisa, of why did we let Toberius pick our names?
Typing
picked
back,
mine.
was going to jail, not much choice.
What was wrong with our previous fake identifications?
Would you just stop texting in the middle of the meeting?
Oh, I do apologize.
She's got it in her brain. I'm the one that's physically texting. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just keeping accurate
That
notes.
doesn't exist anymore. It's all you to the eye.
Oh shit! Damn. Yeah, we're texting during the meeting.
I'm just kind of interrupting. I'm going, I had very short notice.
I'm texting between her directly. I didn't invite you.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
All right.
Toberius,
So
I am connected.
the panda will clear his mouth with it. Okay. So they're good, right? I mean, they're good with the good, and Rio nods and says, "I'm confident that they can provide the protection required within the tier that you selected." And they're like, so maybe more protection than that, maybe like additional protection than that. And you see a kind of narrow-eyed view coming from Rio, like we'll discuss that possibility, but don't go over beyond what you've paid for.
So I assure you, we can handle anything.
Okay, all right, because I mean this is sort of it. We're pretty vulnerable right now, and you are all we've got. We've got like 20 hours to get this set up, and I have nobody else to pull in.
Are there any floors we absolutely positively need to avoid firefights on?
Well, I mean, can you maybe do it outside? And Mira says no. Can you?
This is why I'm asking, sir, so that way we can try and keep any of your really sensitive stuff protected the most. If we have a priority area, we can try to make sure that we keep those safe, draw them away.
Yes, we can funnel them away.
We're going to try to make sure we funnel and get the least amount of damage to your stuff as possible, because they are going to try to damage your stuff.
All right. Well, I mean, okay. So all the physical assets are underground, and I don't think they'll go for those because there's no way to replace them. So if they burn them all up, there's really no point in taking us.
Yeah, so they're probably not going to touch that. But what about secondary assets that you need to keep safe, sir? This is
all the books and the investment profiles are in the server rooms. Those are here, and he points to the map.
Are these maps accurate?
Yeah,
Penny is
totally
giving me a sideways look to Tisa that says no maps are accurate.
Are you entirely certain about this? Because if not, this could.
I'm going to probably go ahead and do a double measurement check on your building just to be sure, to ensure that your maps are correct, just in case there was something your previous owner had done.
Yeah, well, I mean, the building was commissioned as our first one. It's really not that old. You don't think they knew anything about like the construction or anything? And Rio will look over and says it's new construction. I don't think any of the rooms here are going to de-res, so be concerned about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, oh well, I mean we've got a vault too. That's got some physical assets in it. That's over here.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the work areas. That's got all the distribution and everything that's figured out. And that's on this floor through this floor.
What are your neighboring buildings like?
And this is sort of a downtown thing. So the map that he's using will zoom out, and there are several nearby buildings that are of various scales. Some comparable to this one. This one's a little bigger than the one that's next to it. There's a few in the back that are much larger, and then there's some bigger ones down the road that are like mega structures and stuff. Then there are a few roads going into the building. It's not really designed like a fortress, so there's plenty of ways in and out of it. But the conditions of your particular contract, the hot zone that has been agreed upon here, is that they can have no more than 6 assailants coming in that are armed in any way they see fit. That doesn't include what's labeled as anti-vehicular weaponry. Which they don't typically call small explosives, but things like rocket launchers are.
We shouldn't expect
usually,
land weapons.
Yeah, they shouldn't come in with land weapons necessarily, but they might come in with anything sub that. So there could be some heavy machine guns. This is a kilo K situation that they've paid for here. So he has brought the crew down to a skeleton crew, but it's actually required that a few people be around unless they just outright don't show up, which does happen. And you will have some assistance in there, but the actual period that this can take place in is over a span of several days. It's not narrowed down to a few hours. There can only be one attack, but when they choose to do it is sort of their purview within the area they expand. Yeah. So you'll have to start taking shifts basically to be ready for them.
Did you pay for exclusive rights to this building design? Is there a chance that they will notice layout?
He shakes his head and says, "No, that they can probably download it. I mean, the building is a standard template."
Okay. Do you know if any of the neighboring buildings are currently occupied?
All of them probably. They might be vacated or at least guarded off during the period, but they paid for a pretty big span here. So
I'm just worried about them hooklining over to get to the upper floors over top of us. So
no, they'd have to pay out of their contract to do that, I think, unless they wanted to come in with fewer people. The actual amount of money that you're supposed to be able to allow to do for this sort of thing is like capped. So most other buildings don't want to give you permission to do that because it opens them up to return fire if there's an assailant over there.
Okay.
So unless they wanted to pay a whole lot of money to do it, which would cut into how many people they could send over. That said, all of this is subject to whether or not they're playing by the rules or informing people. They could just cat burglar up the side of something, not pay for it and put other people at risk.
Do you have you have a normal security force for the building?
He nods and says, yeah, and they'll be available. But we actually sort of, they're here on a volunteer basis. That's kind of why we're hiring you, is so that we don't have to put our new employees.
Oh, no. I'm just asking if they can get us familiar with their, I'm assuming you have cameras, things like that.
Oh, yeah. No, they can show you everything.
Yeah, because I just figured, I just thought we might, sorry, I'd like to know everything, kind of narrow down some variables, because I'm kind of logistics, and I just kind of want to look that up for you. I just kind of look over, kind of give a nervous smile. I'm sure my team lead's already talked to you about this. I'm sorry.
She nods a little bit and says, well, we'll get started.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay.
So how much of this building is Drachert accessible?
Not necessarily a lot of it. The rooms are big enough for him to kind of move around in. The hallways are the tougher issue. But the areas that you think are kind of at most risk are the ones that are going to have the executive equipment in it. Possibly the asset control downstairs if they plan on trying to hold it ransom or something, which is something they could do if they decided to take like a slash and burn thing where they just want to take these guys out of business. The thing is, nobody knows how they're making this stuff to begin with. So even if they conceivably destroy all the physical assets, these are the people who know how to make them again. It wouldn't necessarily stop them.
Yeah.
So they may in fact be prime targets just to stop the further.
Yeah, the prime target is really to take over the operation and put enough physical asset at risk, which includes the two people themselves who have to be on premises. So they are.
We essentially have 3 or 4
primary targets. You've got a few areas that are likely. You've got where is...
Well, one of the things that Penny's going to start doing is I'm going to deploy my map mites because I've already calibrated them, so I want to use them for stuff.
Okay. You've got this place.
Did you want me to turn off the grid name numbers?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Oh, but I wanted to play chess style. I move BB from E21 to G17.
Move BB to BB.
Checkmate.
Wait.
I move BB to BBQ, BB8.
Yep. So you've got this place, which is 1, and actually this is a slightly different design than what I want it to be, but I'll take it a little bit. So this is 1 floor that's a primary concern, and then this is a manufacturing zone that has got proprietary equipment in it. That is another major concern for them. that they want you to look out for, and then the last one is more like their lobby, which is going to be this one.
I'm not familiar with this
Oh,
layout
there.
at all.
Yeah,
Damn,
So-
it is a standard template construct.
I do need to get a new lobby. We have used this lobby a few times.
Yeah.
But
I-
it's got
I love
we
this
were
lobby, though.
destined to do this job. We've been training on
Been
it
training all
forever.
your lives.
This will sound awfully callous, but what priority-wise would you consider recoverable if you lost it to you are out of business?
Well, anything but us, the bird says quick, because they do have to be the on premises for it. Actually, this is the part of it too, is in order to do this, there's like an equal risk on both sides sort of thing. So it is conceivably possible to go into their building and attack their CEO during this process. It can take place on both sides.
Unfortunately,
because
their,
you know
their
the
building's
attack
like
is
on
coming.
Mars.
No, they have a place nearby that is of equal risk, essentially. But because you know this attack is incoming, that opportunity probably isn't going to be there. So they're going to be in the offices. That first one that we saw up here, it's rooms and stuff room up here. So they're going to be bunkered down in this area because it's fairly difficult to get to. They hope. It's fairly difficult to get to as long as they shut down the elevators and stuff. And they're hoping to keep most of the fighting down on the ground floor because while that is the public face, they can fix it all. There's nothing that's particularly important.
Mhm.
So they'd like to keep it all down there. Rio will pipe up, however, that the people that she's suspicious of as being the likely folks that take this contract are not necessarily above bringing the whole building down. And while they may not be allowed to bring in large explosives, they're rather creative. So keeping
they
all the
might
fighting to the
they
bottom
might
floor
make the
is
building
key.
go up itself. Yeah.
Yeah. So you need to be a little risky about if it turns out that only a few of them are showing up or something, because they may be trying to do something larger.
Yeah, because I mean,
Yeah.
logistically, if they're not allowed large explosives, many small explosives are just as effective.
Yeah, or some other,
Or
they've
just
got
two
some
people
specialists
coming
out
in
there.
at lowering their team number so they can bring bigger stuff. Yeah.
Mhm.
We may be best off splitting up. I'm not sure if it would be best to have Drac with the scientists or in the lobby, though.
Drac might have an easier time moving around on the ground floor in the lobby because it's pretty open.
Let's either split up or consolidate assets.
Maybe split up.
So if their CEO is captured, this entire thing ends, right?
No, I mean they have to surrender. Just the capture. The referee doesn't come in and say a beep or anything like that. You would have to convince them that.
Also, it's a bigger corp than what we're
Yeah,
doing,
it is-
so
it is
they probably
larger.
have even better
Thankfully, that
defenses.
CEO probably has backups.
Yeah.
But we know where they are,
You know where that building is, yeah.
and they can only attack during certain periods. Or
Like a
certain
3 day
period.
Several
span.
days.
Yeah, but we're on the same thing, I think.
Yeah.
We're not expecting them to possibly attack immediately.
They could. You don't know when it's going to occur is the thing. So it could happen right away.
Well, no, Tobias is literally asking these questions. I could try to sabotage their building first.
We can't touch it until the time span starts, and then we're going to be
No,
prepping
the
for
second that timer starts, I could be in position to try
You
and
would be
breach
putting
their-
yourself at risk, though, to get hurt, because they might have better defenses in this building.
They invariably will have bigger defenses. They are limiting themselves
Yeah.
for this sort.
But if they
Yeah.
think there's an assault on their building, they might pull their team back.
Not likely.
I'm fairly certain if I can get in, I can start spoofing their security system and absolutely get them on the defensive, and that would buy us a little bit of time.
I'm concerned that you think that their system is weaker than it probably is. This is a major corporation, not a little.
I'm fully expecting their system to be incredibly tough, but at the same time,
If you fail, you're out of the fight with us, and we won't be able to probably get you back until after we're already dealing with something, though.
There is also a problem that honestly, if they're not going for tactics, if they're not going for bringing it alive, then that forces hand will just destroy place.
I wasn't intending on going into a building. I just need to be near their building.
I doubt any of their stuff is wirelessly accessible from the outside. A lot of that stuff is more securely handled than that.
Could let him try, though.
Yeah, you can let him try.
Wouldn't it be wrong to sabotage their place?
I know, BB.
No, BB, it's all sanctioned.
See, we got paperwork says it's okay.
Well, if you say so.
Think of it as like a very violent team building exercise.
Yeah.
So like every team building exercise.
How far away is the building?
It's gonna be like on the other side of town probably, so it'd be a bit of a trek to get there and back.
So you're gonna take a cab over there, Toberius?
Well, how long do we have before?
The actual timer for the thing beginning is about 20 hours from now, and presumably you'll want to like rest a little bit before that begins. At which point you're gonna have to start taking shifts to.
The other question I have out of character is, didn't they also say they weren't entirely sure which group it was?
Yeah, she has a suspicion, but she
which
doesn't
merc
know.
group.
We don't know which worker group
We
it
know
was.
what corp it is.
Yeah, we do know what corp it is that hasn't signed up with them. That you just don't know who they hired.
Well, I can be on shift quite a lot, so I can cover Toberius not being here.
Okay.
And I wasn't going to be there very long. I just need enough time to test their system, see if I can get in. If I can, I will cause as much trouble and boogie out.
Contract-wise, would that count as our one assault?
If it's done during the time of the actual sortie, then yeah, if you're going to engage in assault them, that still allows you to defend your own area, but that would be it.
No
In
retaliation.
terms of getting to them.
Well,
But would we even be going on the offensive?
Well, that's yeah. If you do any sort of digital manipulation to their side, then following that up with a violent strike,
I think Toby means
it's part of the same thing.
No, in character, are we even thinking of going on the offensive? Because, like they said, this is a major corporation. If we went on the offensive, we'd be dealing with their entire security force.
well, my concern is if they are captured, she points at CEOs, would recovery count as an offense or?
Rio shakes his head and says, "If they're captured, we essentially are forced into a surrender situation. I don't think either of these gentlemen are particularly interested in dying today."
And I doubt we have any interest in preemptive strikes to try and bring down a much larger corp.
She shrugs and says, there's some merit to the idea of trying to get them to hold back, but I believe if they're trying to do this, it's going to be a commitment of all or nothing.
They have a lot more clout and a lot more they can replace quite easily, I imagine.
It's more that they have a lot more bodies.
Yes.
they have a lot more all, and we have a lot more nothing.
Most of the workforce here is smaller than that particular workforce, which just gives you fewer people to step through. But if they've had a couple generations of workers, there are people loyal enough to stand in the way of a gun to keep you from getting from point A to point B. And if there's enough of them that they can go through them before these guys can get to yours, then essentially you're just shooting workers.
In short, we're not planning on assaulting themselves. So if Toberius wants to use our attempt, as it were.
It also might force their hand. They might try to act in the first hour while they know that some of
At the very least,
people are out.
if you're going to do that, if you're going to try and mess with their systems, trying to see if you can recover any information about what team they've hired.
Is
that
lost
was
internet
one of my
again?
primary goals that I was thinking
There
of.
we go.
He's back.
Yeah, sweet.
That was one of my primary thoughts. Is if I can't get control of their systems, I was just going to raid their database.
Okay, well, if he does it in the opening hours, and we risk them attacking us within the opening hours, I suppose.
Yeah.
But he can try that, get what information he can, and come straight back. If you're not killed.
She does click and say that is the other concern. If you are at all noticed during that, they may just let you finish and shoot you on the way back.
So
But who wants to
don't
live forever,
get
right?
shot.
Tobias has just stopped, and his
Oh,
eyes are
that's
shifting
no
back
glory?
and forth real quick. What's that?
No guts, no glory.
The positive sum is better, and as the old saying goes, no risk, no reward.
Rio nods and says, "I'll think it over. I'm going to make sure that this is worth losing a potential attacker during their assaults because it isn't going to stop their team from coming. But there may be something to it."
Okay. Should we diversify onto different floors for who's going to be where?
Let's go have a look around.
Operation time.
By the way, Zev, I can actually put different people from our group onto different maps individually.
Okay.
So
Well,
I can separate them.
Oh, neat. Okay. I'm not sure if that's going to be more efficient or not because we all kind of want to be able to see where everybody's going. I kind of want the fight to end up all in one place, but
I know, but I'm just saying if you want to have people doing patrols and they see something, and that shit. Now they're kind of relaying it to us.
Would it actually accept turns an initiative block?
Well, I'm going to find out. So I am just going to start sending people to see if you see Zev on the top. I'm sending people to different rooms.
fancy.
And then let's just drop your tokens onto the maps. So then we'll see how that works real quick, because I haven't tried that.
Oh, okay.
I'm just curious to see if this even works, because
so
yes, I'm adding her.
I'm on the same map as Tisa.
Yeah, you're on the same map as Tisa. And then I'm going to swap over to this map where Toby's at and add Toby. Alright, and then I'm going to come back to the office room map where the rest of us are. Can you guys see the init turns?
I can only see Tisa. Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool. So, but GM can still see it.
Not convenient for us, though.
Yeah.
Oh, GM can still see it?
Yeah, GM
Yeah,
can
I
still
can-
see it.
Okay,
So-
yeah, that would actually work fine then.
But let me
Just
just
means that
rejoin you guys.
SV's got to be on.
That's
top
if
of
that's
him.
if he ever wants to do it that way. I just rejoined everybody.
Still don't see any turn order.
Well, that's because it was all weird
Okay.
for the GM. But yeah, there. There you go.
So we go
As
off
a
on
side,
the...
Sam, I think you need to assign the new token to my thing
Oh yeah.
in my
Sure.
hands.
Yeah.
So we journey through the building. You can look around.
You can have a look around. The floors are here. I'll just drag us so that we can kind of get a look at all of them. You have our familiar lobby that we've been in a few times. There's not much. There's lots of big open areas here, so it's very easy to move around. Tall ceilings and stuff like that shouldn't be too much issue for a Drachert to get by as long as he's not trying to go through any of the doors. The nice part about this place is that none of the walls are made out of anything particularly astounding, right? So if you really wanted to beat the crap out of a door frame, you can probably get through it, but it may slow you down a bit, especially in the interior area. There is an outside. Didn't we have a parking lot at some point, Sam?
Yeah, I had a
Yeah.
parking lot at one point.
Is
Did
it
you
still
need a
around
parking lot?
somewhere? Yeah, let's just have it so that it's there to fight if you want to take it outside.
I'll start digging it
You
up.
want to take this outside?
Okay.
You want to take this outside, punk?
Yeah, so
Right,
there's
let's take this
the
outside.
parking lot and stuff that is out near the front if you wanted to do, if you could actually get them in that particular area, but there's the risk that they might try to infiltrate behind you. There are no automated defenses in the area, but all of the doors do have electronic locks. So having control of the network in this building could make it easier to kind of hold off their escapes or progress, depending on where they are at any given point. And there are cameras in pretty much every location. So you can see the building pretty well from the control area. which security has a station right here, down on the first floor. And then there's a secondary station up on an upper floor too.
But not where the CEOs will be hanging out.
No, the second security station will be in the. Oh yeah, because I went through maps. So yeah, it'll be on that floor, but it's not directly next to them.
Alright,
In the office rooms.
I did that for you, Cronos, so you have Drax arms and stuff.
Our CEO dudes are going to be hanging out in. Let's put them over here.
Okay,
Down on
Svi,
the
can I
bottom
get you to do a somewhat ugly thing?
Huh.
Just quickly open up a text box and write like CEO room.
Text.
Also, does this happen? Make sure this is happening in the player there rather than the gym there.
Yep.
Should be on objects and tokens right now.
Alright, I made you a parking lot.
Could you pave over it and put up a paradise?
No. I can't.
No.
Okay.
Alright.
No, Miss Joni Mitchell.
What's this called? CEO. There we go. Okay, so. Oh, there we go. I'm making more.
Oh, okay, there it is. All right.
Can I make it bigger? Yes.
You can do it.
I did it.
Bob the Builder taught me so.
There we go. CEO room. Down there. So that's where they're hanging out. Super awesome party place. Also in the CEO room.
There.
So that'll be where they are hanging out. And then the other security office is going to be going to put it here. Text. Okay. And then the elevators for this particular area are here in the hallway.
Just the middle hallway?
Yeah, they're basically one there and one here.
I can make an elevator.
That's all right. That's all I need is that to show. So those are the main entrances to this one. There are emergency staircases. Actually, we don't have an end of the hall here. Okay, no emergency staircase, I guess. Convenient. So there's not too many places to get up through here unless you plan on coming through the ceiling of the floor, which is possible, depending on what they've got equipped. Okay, and then the other place that we were going to check was this production room, right? I think. Yes, it's this one over here. Okay, so this has a lot of their equipment in it, and a lot of the stuff that they're using to actually manufacture the copy and the brand. Not too many people down here, but lots of heavy stuff, and there are some catwalks around that you can use to walk on this one here. Tall ceilings in here, pretty easy mobility, and the hallways, at least most of them, are wide enough for Drachert to get through.
Okay. Seems good.
Okay, you guys have about 10 hours basically to kind of go shopping if you want to arrange any sort of trapadiggles or additional fortifications that you want to set up, or decide kind of shifts that you want to take. The nice part is you have the shift advantage because you guys have the better coffee.
And also someone that never sleeps.
But mostly the better coffee.
That way, we have many people who don't sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I might go make some purchases. Shoot. Hey, baby, would you want to go with me? Go shopping real quick? Big strong arms.
Oh, sure.
That'd be great.
I might not be as strong as Drac, but
I
I'm
used to
definitely
think
willing
they
to
were
help.
such big, strong hands.
But I couldn't hold on. Shoot, I don't even know what I'm gonna go buy, but I'm gonna go buy shit. Mm-hmm.
I should go get wall guns.
Man, I wonder if I should just start
Okay.
taking a whole bunch of stims just to just ride this high out, you know?
I will be awake for the next several days.
I'm gonna take a regular size
do
vector's
that.
dosage
There is actually a thing for that, yeah.
of long haul, or whatever it is.
Congratulations,
Ever.
you'll be awake until dead.
Which, conveniently, you're dead now, right?
Hmm.
Actually, let's see how much money I have before I get too excited. So I was like, I want to make some purchases, and then I was like, wait a minute, do I have money?
It's like, congratulations, you're awake for the next 10,
All right, I have
Wait, no,
320
minutes, hours?
credits.
9.
We should
Penny,
probably.
are you going out to get stuff?
Yeah, I was wondering. Do we have like This might seem a little silly, but do they have you know that thing I used when the other building went boom boom?
Oh. A
The
bug out?
explosives?
Yeah, I was wondering, do we have bug out balls for the CEOs just in case these?
Rio will say, well, we can get some, but I don't think that's going to be the issue. Basically, if they're captured, the organization will, and it will only take them so long to get through one of those shells.
Well, I'm just thinking in case, they decide to drop part of the building, it might not be good, or, to have them, well, I guess, okay.
She nods and says it might not be a bad idea.
Because, just as a thing. So I was going to get a couple of those. I need to get some more ammo for my gun, or my bow. Shoot. Spam in a can, maybe?
It's just like writing on a list.
How about we could go out shopping together and I'll treat you. May as well put my discount ability to use.
That sounds like not a bad idea. We can,
BB's got cash.
yeah. Hey, BB, is there anything you wanted to get now that you got all that money?
Oh, I don't know.
More arms.
No.
How far off are you from your physical thing? Too far.
From landmark or from physical enhancement?
Enhancement for the monies.
Can't do it.
Can't do it. Too much monies.
No, I need new blood.
Oh, I always need new
'Cause
blood too.
I've got too many core surgeries to be able to do that.
Damn.
So you need to afford new blood and physical enhancement.
Yeah, which actually I'm just checking the prices, but I don't think I can do both. No.
Well, how much?
In total, I'm off by about 900.
That's not bad.
I can afford that.
Yeah, let me see. New blood is 2,000. Fizz enhance is 4,000.
Can you afford the extra notoriety? Because it's 2 notoriety for the physical enhancement.
I'd have to probably buy new armor to dump the notoriety spent on armor.
Mm-hmm.
Or if there's a way to de-advance armor.
There isn't anything currently written for it.
However, you could
Like I
sell
think
the
I
armor,
let you.
which
Yeah,
you
you
get a lot
could
of money.
sell it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that is the way you do it because
Yeah,
it
sell the armor.
gains extra value. So you could sell the armor, which might actually net you a little bit extra cash.
Yeah, and then you could just get some cheaper armor.
So see, I've got 1,000 credits.
I've got like 320 credits, and all I was gonna do is buy a bug out ball. So let's get BB in operation.
That cover the money hack then?
We will rebuild him.
So I've got 5,100. I'd need 6,000 to get new blood and fizz enhance. and I probably need 300 to 600 more for armor.
So yeah, we could.
Yeah, let's do it.
So that'd be
Okay,
total
BB dear. Why don't we
63 to
treat you a bit?
6,600.
Yeah, let's treat BB. Screw the other shit. We're doing this.
Look how great our service is. We're enhancing one of our own just to help.
Yep.
Oh,
So I'll let my map mites run. I'm double checking. I'm double
I
checking.
love how the logic to that is we want to make sure we get here on time, so we're buying ourselves Ferraris.
Yep. So meanwhile, what I'm going to do is me and I'm going to start looking up armor that will be refitted to fit him. We're going to sell his. He's going to sell his old armor to get some money.
yeah, I guess I'll sell the old armor.
All right, Ali, are you going to give him the money for the surgery, and then I'll give him the extra money for the armor?
I was going to say, to save 200 credits, could I buy BB his surgery?
Yeah, I suppose you could.
Why don't you give me the money and I'll have my ledger handle it.
Move some things
okay.
around. All right, now you want me to give
Yes.
you the money too, Ali, or I guess it would. I've only got 300, so I think he's 5,100. How much do you have?
I've got 1,000. BB's going to be 5,100.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 6,100.
Mm-hmm.
How much did you know total hurt then? With a 200 discount, so.
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
How much total for the surgeries?
It'd be 6,000 for the surgeries. Just
Alright, so
surgeries.
You handle that. I'm gonna give BB. Me and BB are gonna go buy. I'm gonna go buy armor for BB and sell his old armor, I guess.
What was your older?
Actually, Ali, when you said 200
Be right back.
discount,
Yes.
200 per?
There's 2 surgeries there.
For the total transaction, which I think this will be one transaction.
Okay, alright. Yeah, so in that case, it would come to 5,800.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What was the armor you had?
Storm armor with self-repairing EM suite and triple advancement.
Okay, so the
It's 300
was
for each part.
300, and then the M suite. You bought the self repair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which
Under my
was-
credit purchases, it's listed as 300 for each of those parts.
Okay, so it's 150 per advancement level in terms of cash back, basically. So
Okay.
you had 3 advancement levels on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for 450 plus 300 for the armor, and you're not going to get the solid at full price and stuff, but we'll say 400 for the armor and the suite that was on it. So 850 for that sale.
All right, cool. So 850, and I've got another 300 to throw at building you some new armor. So basically, we'll take him in to get a surgery, and then I'm going to go buy him his new fitted armor.
Oh shit! Who's a good talker?
I technically have a double simplify, so
You are not just selling notorious armor. You are selling the notorious armor of a man who just invented brown coffee.
Can I do that? Because I have his
you go for
signature.
it.
I have his signature.
Go ahead and do a community exert and communication.
All right. Community exert and communication. Oh, well, this is great. 10. I don't have any skills in this. Sorry, guys. Hey, not bad.
It's not bad. It's not bad. What I'll do is I'll give you the full price for the thing. So it was 600 and then 450. So
You get
1,050.
1,050 towards that. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, 1,050 to buy new armor for him, and like I said, I'll go pick him up new armor that'll fit.
Yeah.
Okay, I will take the money for the surgeries out of my total now.
Yeah. And also during this time, since we're basically walking him over, or riding over with him to go get his surgery, I'm just gonna kind of mind dump at BB on the way. I'm not crazy. People think I'm crazy. I'm not crazy.
You're whispering that to him because I'm there as well.
Oh shit! If you're there, no, I'm not saying shit.
Yeah.
No, except that you don't notice it until she says I'm here as well. So like halfway through the conversation after you've been saying this for a while,
Not
she was
crazy.
like, by the way. I am also here. All right,
Okay,
so, you're
so
gonna
that's
go
what
get
we're
that done?
doing. Is Drachert or Toberius going to get any purchases done?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I was actually going to ask one thing.
Yeah.
Do any of you have 30 spare credits?
I do, because I'm not spending anything on him, so I'll leave you 100 credits,
Yeah.
okay?
I only need 30. I legitimately only need 30.
To be frank, if you want to just do this in turns, you can take me all over the fucking place and I can get you discounts.
No, I don't. It's like I don't need surgery. I just literally that'll get me my 2 upgrades for my shotgun back.
Okay. No, I'll leave you 100. I'll leave you 100 credits, because I'll be like, here, get this what
Okay.
you need. I'm gonna leave 100 credits with Toberius. Here, get what you need, and then I'm gonna go buy 1 bug out ball for Dipshit and Company.
I think I may have misspent somewhere, or not
Yeah.
spent enough, because apparently I'm sitting on like 3,000 credits.
I
Congratulations, you're
was
rich.
sitting on about 2,600 until
I have
this
have a
session
running
started.
total of having 7,850 credits. How much do you have written down?
7,750.
Did you
Yeah.
pay for your recent operations?
Yeah, I have them all listed,
I don't think you've bought anything else other than that.
Yeah.
and my
So-
weapons.
Yeah, you haven't
Yeah.
bought
So-
anything, so you've just been accruing money.
Yeah, if you've spent less money than me, then it's not unreasonable to have
Yeah,
that much.
I think the operations you got were actually pretty cheap, if I remember properly. You didn't get anything very expensive.
It all came down to about 2,000.
So yeah, you're right on the money.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I just wanted to make sure I'm not under.
Yeah.
So
I'm at 10,350, but that's because of the 2,500. Otherwise, I'd be at 7,850. Which is where Sam said she was.
So then
Yeah.
Tiberius should be somewhere at like 5, right? Because you just spent 2,000 on surgeries.
No, that was
Because of the extra money you gave him this session.
Yeah, he got extra
Yeah.
money. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna. Well, fuck, Tobias got money. Fuck, I'm gonna give him a little bit of money for Drac because I know he bought a big surgery, and then no, I'll give 100 credits still to freaking Toberius because I don't fucking know better. God damn it.
I'll take his 100
It
credits.
has no real sense of cash.
I know, it's just like, here, get anything you need. This will help, and then she's gonna go run off with helping with that, and I'm gonna buy a bug out ball while we're out shopping for stuff.
Okey-doke.
I also got a
And
couple
every
words
once in a while,
from
Penny's just gonna
people
kind of
back.
reach at her chest like she's trying to grab for that locket that's not there.
Guess you can buy another one of those.
No, she's not gonna buy one of those anymore. She's done with those. That was somebody else's mom who died.
Okay, so to make sure I've kept good enough track here,
You might want to send it to
I
Allie.
gave away all money I had to
Yep.
Tisa.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Which should have been
5,100 went to
5,100.
Tisa.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Tisa is covering the extra 700 needed for the surgery.
Yes.
So
And then I
meanwhile,
took your armor and sold it and got you
yeah,
1,050.
Penny sold the so 1,050.
Mhm.
It's going to cost 600 to get essentially the storm armor with no advancements,
Mhm.
but still the self-repairing.
Yeah.
So that will put me at 450 remaining,
Mhm.
which means I could spend 300 for a second heavy axe with extension and swing weight hammer, but no advancement, and still have 150 left,
Yes.
which I would thusly give to Tisa to cover
Some of the money that you owe her.
some more of the money that was owed.
Yeah, because eventually you'll have to pay her another.
Yeah, which once you
700.
offer that up, Tisa will just go, "Oh, don't worry about it, darling."
Money is just such a fickle thing for me. It comes and it goes. It's like entertainment.
If you're sure, then.
Yes, I'm quite sure.
All right, so we're gonna send you in for surgery. Have a good time.
Okay, so I think the rest of this day will be surgery, the shopping, and then people will need to rest.
So before you completely commit to it, there is a thing to consider here that will come up is that the overall recovery time may eat into the first few hours of your hot period. So Rio's going to bring that up, and in light of this, say that she's going to need all hands on deck for that period, if that's going to be the case. So that cuts into Toberius potentially going over to the other building.
Yes, we don't want to be down 2 members.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, maybe have Toberius stagger, and he goes and does his thing when
Once BB's returned.
once BB's back. Does that work?
Yeah, she'll nod and says, and I'm still debating whether or not that's really going to be worth the risk associated with it, because I don't really know that it will accomplish all that much to scatter their tools, other than to inconvenience them a little bit. They're still going to go through with their attack.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get a few practical tools, so I'm going to need to assemble a budget for that too. We need to get some welding enzyme in case they try to de-res the building. We need to get...
Toberius kind of raises his hand, goes, I've already placed it on order. It was part of my plan.
Is there any chance that we could get some of that foam in case of fire?
She nods and says, okay, so we need welding, which I guess he's already getting. We need a foam. We need...
I have a bug out ball I bought for the people.
Right, you already got that.
I bought that, so.
I want...
It's only good for one person though, right? So we should probably get one for each.
Well,
Yeah, they want to
presumably
survive.
you guys are good enough to run out of the building is what you're sort of hoping for. Vehicle, honest display like objectors. Here we go. Cooker is useful. Would prefer to have, not absolutely necessary. She wants a clean sweep. Will help track them down. It might be worth having several of those. They're a little expensive, but they're only suitable for checking within X amount of floors between each one. So depending on where you're standing, you're only going to get a limited view.
Mm-hmm. Can we get something to? We should get some of those things that like make it so it's hard to hear and shit like that. So
It's
we
a
can.
dead zone. The problem with the dead zone is that
More of an assault device.
She nods and says, if you're within the vicinity of a dead zone projector, you will hear it. But if we're split up and they happen to sanction off one of us, nobody else in the building will notice. It's more something that I'm concerned about them having than us having.
Penny kind of frowns. Her armor has dead zone projector built into it.
Yes, display sheaf.
I have actually not had a chance to use it.
No, you might get to.
Oh.
Ooh, that was a thing. So one of the things that she will also recommend, depending on how you want to set up your defenses, is the where's that hiding? We haven't played with that yet. The Phonet from it's basically puts up a holographic wall that's actually convincing.
Oh, yeah,
It takes a while to set up, but we actually have the benefit of having a while. But it's an expensive device. It's 1,000 credits.
1,000 credits, and we'd be basically having to choose exactly where we think they're going to be going from. I suppose we could use it to hide them, the CEOs. We're technically on site still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's possible.
Or would that perhaps prompt them to be able to bring down the building if they can't find them?
It may prompt them to go to their home. Technically, the CEO doesn't have to be located at the attack. They just have to be vulnerable. If any attack is propagated against the CEO during the time of the hot zone, it is okay by RPF.
We could use the
protection.
projector to hide a door.
They could be at their home. They could be wherever they want to. The reason that they're usually on the premises is because that's where all the defense is being hired for. Whereas if you go off to some safe zone and it turns out that it isn't as safe as you wanted, you've got nothing there to protect you anymore. So we're keeping them where the actual protection is. But we could conceivably hide them. That might help. We just have to decide if that's worth a $1,000 investment.
I don't think it is. I'm not sure where we could hide them in this building.
Generally, they're expecting them to, if we do hide them on premises, be at tallest room, big room they have where it's lots of defense, right?
Oh man, what we need to do is have BB standing in the coffee in like that perfect pose of round coffee pose. And just like pretend he's just not there. He's just a
Maybe it's a
hologram.
statue.
Frankly, it's a big investment for something that could be defeated by a clean sweep, though.
Drax suggesting, like, generally they would expect them, if they're on premises, to be in the biggest, most defensible room on the top floor, more than likely, right?
Likely.
So why not just put them elsewhere, hide door to that room?
Because if that plan fails, say them detecting no life signs with a clean sweep system, then not a very defensible place. It's a very much eggs in one basket risk.
I mean, the best we could do with it is try to hide like entrances to elevators on certain floors, but that'll be defeated if they actually take the elevator, and they're most likely going to take the stairs anyway, just so they don't have to deal with it.
Hardwires are useful for quick barricades, as are SAMs. We might consider those. She says, pick one or the other. Actually, if they're planning on de-resing the building, which I think is a possible approach to it, then the SAM won't be very useful. Use the hardwire instead. Probably need a few of those. Sheet windows are also handy. We could probably do without them. They're a little expensive.
I'm going to pick up a couple of hardwires for myself.
And any medical equipment you think you may need. Are any of you trained for repair in combat?
And he raises her hand.
Says, okay, we'll get whatever materials you need to keep people's armor secured.
I am purchasing 4 hardwires. Which will only cost me 40 credits.
How much do upgrades cost again?
150, I think, for armor? For notoriety, is that what you're doing?
No, weapon upgrades. Like emplacement rig and so forth.
50.
50.
50? Okay.
They're relatively cheap.
Technically shouldn't actually be buyable, but seems to be going around it.
Well, Sev, would they currently be gettable?
I think I need to look at that whole area, because we never seem to pay much attention to it. Yeah, you can get one.
Okay, well, I've done my spending.
Okay.
I'm not going to be able to do what I wanted to, but hey.
Because I believe we started with them because we figured we'd be an advanced campaign and the characters would have them by then. But I believe you're supposed to either have a contact, which costs money,
Yeah.
or XP, I think, and then you can get them, or you get them through crafting.
Yeah, I think the pricing out that I did for it is based under the equivalent cost of material for it.
Selling material is 1 credit per material, so we figured that out from it. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody want grenades or anything?
I don't want grenades near me.
I do.
I've got
How many grenades will they
near
give me?
you, or you want grenades?
How many grenades will they give me?
You can. I mean, they're gonna allow the purchase, so you gotta buy them.
Oh.
Oh.
That's different.
I don't want to buy them. I just wanted to have them. I'm not buying any grenades because I can make my own.
It'd be like throwing boulders.
I had no intention of throwing such things. I have people carrying these for me.
I have brought 4 hardwires. They're being distributed to the rest of the group, 1 each.
What's a hardwire?
It's basically a rope that is made of metal that can harden, so you can use it to rope off things to make a quick barricade.
It will harden in whatever shape it currently is, so you could loop it around someone's hand, harden it. It's basically steel then. You could barricade something with it.
And keep that from me. I have to.
Okay.
I hate to bring this up, but we might want some D-res agents in case they put something up we don't want.
Have it.
Okay, you got it? Okay.
It was going to be part of my plan, but if we need it here, it'll be here.
Okay.
All right, so you guys can go through the shopping and begin the surgery, and that will eat up
Most of the time.
Most of your time, you'll have like an hour or so left to begin setting things up before you need to start thinking about who's going to start sleeping where and what your deal is there.
I'm gonna sleep at the desk in the reception area.
I can essentially be on premises constantly. Where would you like me?
She will point to the security room because it's a good place as any to begin, and say, "Let's do this. And we're going to make sure that we have somebody pacing the halls while we're at it." No. Let's grab somebody who's a little more used to watching these. And she'll bring up the regular security force that's been here so far because they know the cameras better. It says, "I want you to actually walk around, spend a little time per each floor, so that your scenery keeps changing, so you stay alert before things just become too monotonous."
General patrol, so I don't zone out.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she'll send you off over there, and then the other thing there was another thing. Oh, right, that was it. For sleeping, there are rules in place now for sleeping in armor. So folks need to kind of pay attention to that when they're
Oh yeah, I need to look at that.
going down. So,
Oh, right. You spell armor that weird way without a U.
You spell armor that weird way with a U?
Yeah, because
The right way,
I
yeah.
speak the
Oh,
Queen's
that's-
English.
Well, you should give that back to the Queen.
What page is that on, Zev?
The U?
I hate you. I was trying to ask a
Well,
legitimate...
yes, you're American.
I don't love anyone here at all. The only people that I'm
it is
friends
on
with
page 147 of the compiled.
compiled. Are we on compiled 5.3 or am I on a different one?
5-25.
Oh, 5-25. Why am I on 5.3? That probably doesn't help at all. What was that number again? 137?
Yeah, featured.
Or 37?
147.
147. Okay, armor and fatigue. Light armor does not cause fatigue unless you sleep in the armor. Medium armor, if you're for longer than twice your endure score or hours of sleep in it, you'll become fatigued. Yeah, Penny will change out of her armor when she is sleeping.
Okay.
I'm hard to hit
Drac
anyway.
changed over to that one.
So how do you want to do for actually, for the nighttime, you don't have to worry about it unless they decide to break protocol, which you should probably kind of keep an eye on things, but that would be a...
Tisa can do that.
yeah, they paid for the extra time, so... at the moment, you guys can probably sleep fairly soundly. You don't necessarily need to be in the building unless you want to work on securing it more.
I think it could probably be a good idea for us to live in the building at least, even if we're not awake at night.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is I'd try to sleep somewhere in the building, whether or not.
There's rooms and stuff. Like most of the structures here have live-in areas for employees that want to log extra hours and stuff. So there are some comfortable places to sleep. I don't know if they're going to be quite as comfortable for Drac, but they're comfortable enough.
Yeah, he can find just a corner.
Drac can go down to the loading area and sleep in a cargo hammock.
I was going to say,
That
Drac
works.
can go down to the lobby and pass out.
Penny's just gonna be
He's
like
the new
passed out in
sculptor.
different places and offices.
Drac, what was your background? Was it all IRPF? Was it IRPF Moscow?
IRPF Progenitus.
Okay. Where did you set to sleep?
He'll probably, like you said, go down to the cargo area and sleep there.
Okay. You are fishing around in that area to get the cargo net figured out. Do a body perceive and search. Okay, and then do a mind perceive and protocol and add your IRPF to it.
Okay.
Okay. As you were fishing around for stuff, you come across a peculiar-looking device that doesn't seem to be associated with any of the things in the room. Most of that stuff is all kind of, attached to each other or whatnot. This is something that was buried in a corner, and it's technology that looks different from the other stuff that's in here. And as you kind of look over it a little bit, it occurs to you that it looks familiar because it's spyglass tech, but you don't really know what it does. It appears to be an independent module. It's probably part of a larger device. It doesn't really look like it belongs to anything that's in this room.
Drac actually ping Rio.
Yeah.
I found this thing and I'll actually basically start videoing the thing. So
Okay.
it's in the cargo hold, and I can tell that it's spyglass, but I do not know what it does.
Doesn't work. Oh, it's one word, isn't it? GM roll? Yes. Okay. Okay, she goes, that is a control module for a spyglass ship. Interesting. Where was it?
It was in the cargo hold. I was attempting to find the netting to set up to sleep on, and this was buried in the corner.
Put it back where it was. Try to make it look like it wasn't tampered with. Do you have anything like a peep or anything that you can put on it?
I do not have on me. I could probably go poke Penny about it, though.
That would be
I do have
suspicious.
some
I'll come down
peeps.
to you. I'll come down to you and under the guise of dropping something off.
Okie dokie.
And she will travel through. I think that was just between them, right? So Penny probably didn't hear it.
No, I'm assuming I
Okay.
didn't. I was just saying he would know I do
Right.
have beeps.
All right. Ria will show up there not too long later and look at the device and go, okay, this is nice. Don't fish around too much in here. Like it's just, I bet they probably have some degree of surveillance, but she will kind of palm a little sensor onto it and say, we'll just see where this goes.
Probably is a good idea.
And she will deport shortly after that.
Oh, during my immense amount of downtime I've had with shopping and stuff, I'm making sure that my messages went through for my reports.
Yeah, I mean, they should have. So there's no indication that they didn't.
Well, I know last time they didn't send, so I was making sure that they weren't sitting in my outbox again.
Oh, right. Yeah, they sent. Yeah. Okay. Here's all there. All right. So come the next day. Who is going to basically take the first day? How do you want to do this? Everybody's together.
Drac can probably take first because he's probably up in the pretty early anyways, in all honesty.
Well, you'll all be up, but like, who wants to go in what rooms and where are you expecting from? Did we end up at that parking lot, by the way?
I put it on the same level with the lobby.
Oh, neat. Okay. Click.
Ooh.
Fancy. All right. Now there's parking lot outside.
I figured that's a parking lot, right?
Well, I was gonna say again, we should probably put Drac in one of two places, either right where the high-value targets are, or in the lobby.
I actually think we should either put
where
him in the
he
production
probably
room or the lobby because they're the ones he has the easiest time moving in.
Mhm.
And
Lobby might be best because if they try a frontal assault,
Yeah.
then that's a gamble, and I can probably get to the production room with a bit of running.
Is the production
So-
room up a bit?
It's down.
It's down. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like a
okay.
basement.
Yeah.
So
that
unless they're
would be-
doing underground tunneling, they're going to have to go through the ground floor to get there, or
And-
elevators from the upper floors, which he could intercept still.
In which case, you may literally go through the ground floor.
I've got a scope on this. Do you want me on the roof to try and keep an eye out for a approach?
Yeah, that's a pretty good spot. Make sure you
That's
keep an
not
eye
a good
above you too.
Yes. Okay, I'll be up on the roof if anybody needs me.
That
Bye.
leaves us with who?
Oh, okay. Make sure you're nice and warm out there, because it can
Oh,
get
I
pretty.
will, dear. Thank you.
Do you need a jacket?
Oh, no, I'm quite fine.
Okay, there's no need to have an eagle about it.
Where do you want the rest of us, Rio?
She's going to look at the pads a little bit and see if we still have you and Toberius and Drac. Drac was already in the lobby. So Toberius, let's put you someplace where you can actually take advantage of the cameras. We'll put you on the top floor. And I think BB can patrol the middle for now.
Okay.
I will stay on the top
Okay.
floor with you and the CEOs.
As Toberius goes walking, he rummages around under the desk he was sleeping in and pulls out a giant black case, and then pulls out his normal laser shotgun and starts trundling towards the elevator.
So I'm on the top
Um,
floor?
Yeah, she's going to because BB's alone in the middle, so that's where she'll send you. Just to do that, and then Drake is on the bottom, and then Tisa's on the top. She's kind of figuring on main floor being a somewhat unlikely approach.
So no one in the lab itself or the parking lot?
Well, the parking lot is visible from the lobby,
Yeah.
and from the roof, and then the bottom floor basement. We had decided that was probably only accessible through the ground floor.
Hmm.
There is a loading dock that leads into that bottom floor basement, but it's also visible from the top. So if they're trying to go through that, it's going to be the cameras and Tisa hopefully seeing them. So that'll be Tiberius and Tisa looking out for that.
Penny's okay. She has this, like, she's used to getting paired off with BB, so she gets, like, this feeling like this is what they always did.
It's like, good,
In reality,
I chose the right
never.
one. They were bitter donut enemies toward the
Yeah,
end.
Svi's gonna have like our next start of session update.
That's another bit of
Talk
marital
about
strife.
how we were always fighting.
Wow.
Another interview. I can't believe that son of a bitch took my donut again. Day 2. I'm gonna fucking kill him.
Right.
Different. Used to be bagels.
For the first, let's see here. We're going to say first 5 hours. Ah, I pressed the wrong button.
Oh no!
What did you do?
I
You're
spun
dead.
it
Kill us
all.
all!
Goodbye,
That's
Z.
all done.
Oh yeah, don't press that button.
Roll.
Why does the picture keep disappearing from my sheet?
Okay. It is a do a Tiberius, you're not in the network yet, right? You're just watching the cameras, or did you want to like try to hack the place?
If they will allow me into the network,
They will allow you into the security grid. Yeah, you can't get into their files.
I'm not going to press my luck.
So yeah, you can use all the cameras if you want to.
Does he have
So-
control of the door locks?
Yep, you can turn the elevators on and off and do all kinds of fun stuff.
All right. Well, the elevators. The place is sparsely populated right now, right?
Yeah.
The elevators aren't going to be stationary.
Right.
I'm setting up basically a Fibonacci number cycle for the elevators to move up and down. So they'll go to various floors and just randomly move, so the enemy team really can't figure out where to get on if they decide to use the elevators.
Okay. How are you going to let the team get onto it, though? When they need to?
The team has my toggle. They just have to call and ask.
Yep.
And I'll send an elevator down to them.
Man, you're hell to everyone who's still working in the building right now.
Yeah, they're not really expecting it to be a very productive day, though. I mean, they're sort of on edge as it is, which is a little rough. Like everybody, you get the feeling that everybody in here has a handgun on them somewhere, but very few of them really want to use it.
Me and BB are being extremely cordial and friendly to everybody.
Yeah, it's mostly just a skeleton crew of people that are trying to do documents and are fully they're fully intending to hide under desks and stuff if things kind of get nasty. Do Toberius and Tisa, both of you can do actually, and Drax's not going to have immediate view outside necessarily, except for the parking lot. So Toberius and Tisa can do body perceive and search.
Okie dokie.
Ho ho!
Okay. In your scanning of the city line for the first 5 hours, you don't see anything that particularly comes as a surprise, at which point Rio will call people down and have them shift around in positions so that they're not getting fatigued. So everybody basically cycles for what they're doing. Drac, we're gonna move you over to the rooftop since it'll be easier enough for you to get into. Tiberius, you're gonna switch with BB. Penny will come back up to the top floor. Rio will stay where she is, and then Tisa can stay down at the bottom for this one.
I will admit, I will point out the fault in logic playing the one person who has no kind of range capability.
Well, you're basically there for lookout. Like, she's not really figuring that one person with a sniper rifle on the roof is going to end an assault by who knows what's coming. You're there to look at it.
You're just keeping an eye out.
Yeah. In the event that you find them, your goal is to get back inside so that they can prepare and see where they're coming from. You can look out. So the those of you who are on the roof and on the ground, or roof and on the Toberius is still tagged in the camera, so you can do another search, and then Drac can do a search as well.
And body perceiver, man.
I'm having like the
It's
most
fine.
awkward time in the world hanging out with Rio right now. We both don't want to look at each other. Ooh.
Nice. Drachert, you feel like you've got a pretty good lay of the land up there, and it is quiet.
It's nearly as tall as me.
Like any stakeout is, the next 5 hours as it gets closer into dusk, and the sun's kind of draping by the end of the city there. It's difficult to look down through, but you don't see anything particularly outrageous coming toward you or anything like that. Windows, don't yell at me. In the meantime, Penny, you and Rio are sort of having a time, and it is awkward at first because you're kind of like, there's this cordial, okay, you walk this way, I'll walk this way, and we'll just keep an eye on the sides, check all the doors, that sort of thing. But that keeps up for the first hour, and you're able to ignore for a while that she just sort of looks like a normal person to you and stuff like that, but every once in a while when you look over, you feel like these impressions are pushed into your mind, and you're starting to get the idea that it might not be her that's doing it. It seems like visitors attempting to get you to look at her in a different way, like he's trying to do some sort of an examination. And it may
I'm
be
gonna try and do
difficult
that
to keep
thing
hiding it.
that I do where he lets, like, I'm asking him for his look, basically, because I'm basically kind of like thinking to myself, okay, you want to look at her, let's look at her, because this is what I do when I want to know something, and I usually ask the wrong person, so I'll try and do the transcendent looky thing at her.
Why do I have kissed the girl going through my head right
When you do that, the environment changes a little bit, like it did the previous night, where it all got kind of gray, and you can see that sort of larger form that you had recognized before on the beach begin to kind of emerge, like it's being generated out, like the veil is sort of dropping. But as it happens, he sort of stops and pulls back a little bit, and the walls sort of come back again, and you get this voice in your head saying, this will alert her.
Okay. I'll just kind of like quietly nod to myself, like, okay, that's fine.
And as you're doing that, she kind of looks up a bit from what she's doing and turns back and goes, did you say something?
Oh, I'm just looking at the my map maps. I've had to recalibrate them like 3 times. I swear. I don't know. I hate how off everything is. It's really just driving me nuts. Was I always like this?
Community exert and communicate, or subterfuge rather.
Subterfuge. Subterfuge. I'm good at. I have a double simplify and subterfuge. Fuck yes. Double simplify.
You need that. You definitely
Actually, I want GM roll it. Oh,
Yes, I can see the
spots
GM roll
liners.
repeatedly anyway, so it's like, I can turn that off, but then I can't see when the stuff I'm trying to show everybody else. It's really complicated. I need to like have one computer for streaming, and then one computer for me to play on, and then I just don't look at the one, I think.
Well, she knows you're bullshitting.
Yeah, she knows I'm bullshit.
Yeah, she's able to spot it fairly well, and says, but she doesn't seem to know how
What
she
I'm
wants to
bullshitting.
approach the situation. Well, it's difficult to tell how much she's noticed or how much she's really gleaned, because you've gotten something by looking at her, but there's no telling what she's really gotten back. And she seems to be stuck in this situation of like, how do I approach this?
Can I tell that she's thinking that, or no?
It's just sort of, you can attempt to do
Community?
a community perceive and search and see if you can.
Ah, thank God, another time where I have a boon. Okay, so search. Okay, search is good for me. I have a boon though, and a simplify. So simplify makes the one not happen. So yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
You can sense that it's a little different. She probably has some impression that you have cargo. How much of it she necessarily understands is different, but there is a thing there that has been noticed.
Can I be really frank with you?
I'm not sure.
I don't know either. That's kind of the problem I'm having.
Penny, do you think you're going to be able to do your job?
There's actually a long, awkward silence from that, like she's thinking about it. Yeah, I think I need it. I think that's the only thing holding me together right now. I'm sorry.
She looks down at her hand and kind of flexes it a little bit and says, I am not necessarily more understanding of my own situation than I am of yours, but I don't think it's going to stop me from being able to perform these tasks. Let's just stick to that.
Okay. Penny, the Penny you knew, we don't.
Is dead.
Did they? You didn't get any information at all about us dragging you back in, did you?
She shakes her head and says, I have only what you told me, but the Penny that I knew did not feel like you do.
My implant changed. And I don't want that to startle you. It's not going to do what you think it does. Okay?
What is it?
It manifests.
And she steps a little forward, like this is actually a point of concern. Says, "What does it manifest?"
Me.
And that actually seems to throw her a little bit. Like she was expecting a certain answer and is like, "Wait, what?"
It's acting up. It's we took our ride over on one of those new ships, the fast ones that go light speed. It messed me up a little bit, Rio.
And and she kind of leans back a little bit and says, "I see."
I know Tisa looks at me like I'm crazy. I'm not gonna talk about anything about it, but I'm just sorry. I can do the job. I get really excited and I want to talk about it to things, and there's nobody to talk to anymore because
She nods and says, "If we get out of this all right, there are a pair of people here that I can send you to that may be able to give you some answers you're looking for."
okay.
They're old friends that helped somebody else who was having an issue. Unfortunately, Penny.
Sharks!
No, not the sharks!
Dun, dun, dun,
I
dun.
don't want to go on the Shark Tank again.
She kind of.
I get really curious about how we work because things Aiden and Keel said about my soul and things it just kind of put my brain into a spin.
Oh no, sweep.
Oh no. Zvi, come back.
You flipped the table.
He table flipped.
You put his brain into a spin.
He's gonna be so mad when he comes back.
He unflipped the table.
All right.
Alright.
You turn the table. She says, they may be able to help you. They helped me a bit, and they helped an old friend.
If you
actually.
ever
She knew them.
want somebody to talk to about,
No.
I don't know what's going on, but
And she looks at you firmly, kind of as you sort of reach out, and there's this definite glare that you recognize as predatory. It's like it's not like an angry person. It's like a creature that is inherently adversarial to the approach of another creature.
Penny actually looks a little taken aback from the look.
We'll look back and says, if it's any consolation, I don't think you're crazy, but unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to help you myself.
That's fine. I get, like I said, things that Aiden and Keel said about my soul kind of just.
Old Penny had concerns. They actually used to reset her regularly whenever her implant deviated.
So it happened before because they didn't tell me anything.
She nods and says, "Yeah, they won't tell you much. Don't hold it against them. It's part of the credo." But
I know, and they told me I'm bad at following orders, and I'm trying to be better at following orders. I got attacked by a living ship back at the base, and that wasn't fun.
She makes a little face like that sounds like something new she hadn't been accustomed to over there. They had one around the base.
Yeah, it they didn't expect my implant to be different, and I used it. They said not to use it in combat, so I used it to open a door, and they didn't expect it to, because and then there was a ship nearby, and it reacted. And
she nods and says, I consider myself lucky. I haven't had the experience.
It wasn't good, and I think I kind of worry that the rest of the team thinks I'm not stable. I'm trying to be good though. I'm here to work. I'm here to work.
She nods and says, "Focus on the work."
Mm-hmm.
And we'll go back to her sort of patrol on it. And as she kind of departs, you do get this sort of stance out of there that is assisted through visitors' sort of instinct, in that there is a fundamental distrust, not necessarily between her and you, but between whatever greater entities seem to be on both sides that are separate, and it's bleeding over. So you can kind of feel it like a physical radiation that's warping the colors around her and stuff like that, that these two chemicals are not compatible with each other, at least not at their current state. Visitor had mentioned at some point that was another part of itself, but they seem to be separate because they can't physically be together.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna get me in so much trouble, you know that?
I can assist if you wish.
You're getting me in trouble?
You appear to be about to engage in physical conflict.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. Would you prefer me to not... I mean... I've noticed the change to how the implant's acting, so I'm assuming you took that over. Was I taunting to the enemy about that too?
You are incapable of discerning what entities you pull in. It can do that for you. I have taken that job.
I feel like I'm putting you to a lot of effort.
What is effort?
Oh, this is a whole separate set of we need to sit
Context.
down and work this shit out for context purposes.
You'll be at that for a while. A few
Yeah.
hours later.
Several hours later.
The shifts will change again. This time, she's actually going to send... Toberius has been eyeing cameras for too long. She's going to need him to kind of cool off for a little bit and rest.
Go to the roof. Fresh air.
You can go to the roof and get some fresh air. Anybody else have decent computers?
I do.
Okay, so you can go to the cameras then. BB can take the ground floor.
I have 2 for digital operate. I don't know if anybody has better than that.
Yes!
Other than Toberius, of course.
I have Jack.
I don't think they let you push buttons anymore.
Well,
Ironically enough,
has
only
a hard
physical
time
operate.
Tisa will go up to the top floor to hang out with Rio, and then Bear will go back down to the ground.
I enjoy being in the computer room by myself because I can have avid conversations with myself.
It does mean it makes it difficult to pay attention now. But so that might actually, depending on how distracted you are, we may have to fight.
Well, I'm going to explain to him what I'm trying to do.
Seth,
Yeah.
even though I have been assigned away from the the monitoring room, I've still got them live.
All right.
I'm
What's
up-
everybody's endure score?
7.
Something.
3.
Okay.
10.
sorry, endure, you said?
Yeah, endure score.
6.
That's
6.
3.
Three.
Okay. So anybody who's got less than that's going to be about there. We're going to say 6. So 6 or less. You're going to start getting pretty fatigued at this point.
I'm going to make sure I take off my
That's
armor as soon as I get
12
sent to the computer room.
You're getting into, well, yeah, we're doing these in 5-hour increments. For the first 10 hours, nothing's occurred. So we're moving into hour 11, hour 12 now. So it's starting to get a little tiring.
I've already peeled my armor off by the time I get to the computer room.
Become fatigued. Relative. Yeah, but she's going to. We're gonna try to cycle folks. So who is not BB? Where did I put you?
You would last put me on the ground floor.
Okay, but we just moved you out of that, right? Just now.
Yes.
Let's
Yeah,
move people
I
to
think.
the floors they're on. Okay, so who's... Alright, Toberius is on the top floor. He's on the roof.
We do actually armor-wise, as long as we're resting for 10 minutes per hour, we're perfectly fine to keep going indefinitely on the armor.
Oh, okay, yeah. So we can see that that's arranged in part of the thing. So what you're gonna do is for each hour that you're on, you're gonna take about 15 minutes to kind of like coffee up.
So we're slightly more active forms of security guards where we
Pretty
patrol
much, yeah.
for 50 minutes, rest for 10, rather than the other way
Patrol
around.
for 10, rest for
Just for
Yeah.
50, yeah.
And also, you're saying that like I ever
Alright,
patrolled.
so who's up top?
I think Tiberius is up top.
No, he's on the roof. Who's in the other... the?
Oh,
I'm up
Caesar.
top.
Tisa's
Yeah,
up there with
Tisa's
them,
there.
I'm down below.
Alright, so where down below are you? Lobby still, or the other one?
I think I'm further down, because I think BB's in the lobby right now.
Alright.
BB's back in the hallway again, I think.
Okay.
I guess.
I guess I'm in the hallway with BB.
You're in the computer room, whichever one.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's the ground floor computer room. Yeah, and then Drac is down there with you.
Okay.
Because there's only like 2 places I can put Drac that it can actually move around. So
Alright.
that'll be that.
I just did that. That is
Okay,
the thing. I'm keeping track.
Toberius, are you saying you're still looking at the computer cameras?
Yeah, not as hard as I was.
Okay,
But-
but it's going to detract from your ability to look around physically as well, though.
Yeah, it's still at the same time. It's what I am good at.
Yeah, but it's like in splitting view of anything.
No.
It just makes
It's
it
what
hard
he.
to do.
It's what,
Yeah.
my explanation why he's good at it. So he has a hard time letting go.
Okay, do we'll just kind of split the difference because Penny's looking at the cameras too, and she's also not doing a great job of it. So both of you can do a body perceive and search.
And I have a simplify. But that doesn't
Okay.
matter.
Oh, there's nothing to there. Okay. So it takes a minute for the actually that'll be the second part because you noticed that there. So do a mind perceive and logic. Also.
Okay, mind perceive and logic.
Mm-hmm. Both of you.
That's my mind perceive and logic. And I have a simplify. So yeah.
Oh, cool. I was actually about to hit the thing. I actually have a bonus in logic.
I'm actually gonna get my boon back in logic
Fuck.
soon, luckily.
Okay. Tiberius, you notice some stuff that is kind of interesting with the traffic. It might just be the lanes changing for the evening because you're getting into sunset now. But it is tough to really look down the road and see what's coming because the sun is setting. So the major inlets to this building all have like light behind them. But the as you turn away from the sun glare and look down the other road section, you see that all the lights that are kind of leading away from the building are diverting traffic to other thoroughfares, and there's an awful lot of rental vehicles that are kind of floating around.
I'm pinging everyone.
Are you going to tell them that it's sunset?
I'm actually pinging everyone. I assume we set up an alert ping.
You could.
Yeah, no, I'm just sending a message to everyone, alert, and then I'm poking at Penny down in the camera room, and any cameras that actually face out from the building, I'm highlighting those on her screens.
Penny, you see a few cameras highlight out there, and you can see just cars driving. There's various vehicles like they've been there all day, and then there are some vehicles heading down to Kent Park or to move up to streets nearby, and some rental vehicles. But the alert kind of happens right about the time that one of the rental vehicles runs a light. And then on another camera facing in another direction, another rental vehicle runs a light. And then a third, and then a fourth, and there's this sudden influx of many rental vehicles running lights, traveling at increased speed toward the lobby.
Oh shit. I'm sad I did better on that and he did a fail. And he got them for me. Okay. Alright, Penny's gonna bike up to everybody. Multiple vehicles inbound for lobby. Rental vehicles look like they're going for a crash.
Okay, Roger.
Tisa, where are you physically?
Up top, apparently, the top floor.
All right. Okay. Sorry, I'm just looking at you on this this one here.
I don't have I'm not on a map that shows me.
Yeah, we didn't have a map, so I just put text
Put
out
it
for
over
where
there.
everybody is.
So, he's over there.
Tiberius is on the roof. Tisa's
Where were
up.
you on the ground floor, Drac?
Probably towards the front of the lobby, honestly.
Okay. As you're looking out there, it's tough to see what's going on because this is, I mean, they clearly timed it to be flying out of the sun sort of thing. Looking down the road, you've just got orange light in your face reflecting off of all the building windows, but you're catching this glimpse of shapes that are getting rather close until they cut through a shadow. And there is a troublingly large number of vehicles traveling directly toward your general vicinity at a high rate of speed.
Back will curse and back up a bit.
Okay.
And then sit with shield out. Also, I am not currently seeing the lobby map.
Yeah, let's drag everybody over to that. There we go.
Should have known we'd end up in the lobby. We always do.
Let's all go to the lobby.
Let's all go to the lobby.
It appears pretty clear at this point, as you've got a few seconds to kind of brace for it, that this is probably the main event. There's not much to do to stop these things from immediately incoming. The bigger question is what's going to stop the more of them and how many are actually involved. The first one hits seconds after Drachert gets a chance to back himself out of the way and plows through this front area. Straw shape, there we go. And ends up slamming against the side here and pretty much crumpling this room. The next one plows into a building over here. Another one runs into them over here. It is a blitzkrieg of metal and sound. A lot of them have their radios turned up really loud. It's a whole lot of noise and distraction and badness coming through here. Some of them are plowing into various barriers that were in the front, but as one of them will slam into a concrete barrier, the next one will ramp off it and end up flying into a first floor window. One of them manages to tumble itself into the lobby area about here. And there are more coming.
Can this be heard?
It's impossible to miss it. This is definitely it.
Okay, darlings, let's make sure that this isn't just a big distraction show. Keep your eyes peeled elsewhere as well.
Okay, let's figure out who is going first for this initial part.
So, time for the...
We're just going to do some actions for this first part here because it's too late to start the fight, but I just want to know what everybody's immediate reaction is.
Greg's going to have the shield and the turbo bullet.
Okay.
As I am on the roof and probably way out of engagement range, I'm going to try and listen to see if I can hear wireless systems going.
Okay. Do a...
I'm going to assume that this entire thing was orchestrated wirelessly.
Do a mind perceive and computers.
Okay. Not mind exert, just mind perceive.
Yeah, if you're just looking for it.
And
Turns out
turns out there was just a simple flub at somewhere, and this is simplified.
you can hear where the radio is. You're not supposed to hit the fucking building.
It's actually a bunch of really bad Uber drivers.
Yeah, this is definitely a networked thing that's going on. They have control of all these vehicles and are sending them into there. And based on what you've noticed, there's quite a few of them coming. This could be structurally unsound for the entire building. You may be able to override the signal. You're going to have to work at it, though.
Yeah, I'm going to work at it.
Okay. Anybody else doing other stuff as these things pop in? The building is beginning to shake.
Permission to head into the lobby?
Let's keep it. Get somebody else onto the roof so that we can get somebody else in case they're coming from above. Everybody else, take up positions one floor above and see if anybody's actually exiting the vehicles.
Toberius, shall we swap then?
A little busy right now.
Out of curiosity, from where I am,
Nothing's
can I
up
see
here,
anybody
but
getting out of the
there's
vehicles.
There's a lot of wireless noise, and there's probably a lot more coming.
You cannot see anybody necessarily driving them, but the thing is, by setting up the four in front here, you're not seeing the ones coming out of the back.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a few more here that might have been the second wave. is the thing that's coming through. Some of them are crashing a little lighter than others.
Drac will actually radio. It's like I live at least 4 blocking away. So far, not seeing any bodies out.
Okay. There's another crunch coming in from over here. Do a mind perceive and logic really quick.
Do we have that collision foam stuff? Can we deploy that in the front lobby?
Well,
Nope. You think you hear something in the back.
Could be the sound of cars. It could be a duck.
It could be.
Well, if Toberius doesn't want to switch positions, I guess Tisa will head down.
Is anyone protecting the...
Tisa and Rio are with them, I think.
Yeah, Rio's going to stay up with them as a kind of last line of defense for that one. Tiberius, did you find something?
I got a 1, a 10, and a 12.
Well, the 10 goes
okay.
away. The 12 stays.
Yeah, that's
That's
what
the next die.
do you have any simplifies or anything?
Not on logic. Now, if I were actually
Oh
trying
no,
to hack
you weren't doing a logic. The logic was for Drachert.
Oh, okay. You
Yeah.
want me to do a...
No, she's asking you because you didn't say why you were busy.
Oh. Tisa, I'm trying to override their controls on these vehicles. They've got a lot more coming.
All right, yeah, focus on that. Anybody who can give him an assistance, maybe find out where the original signal is coming from.
Okay, yeah.
Should I head down to the lobby? Maybe check to make sure no one can get in through the back route?
Yeah, look out through the. Don't descend directly to the bottom right there. We already have Drac down there. I want to find out where the actual people are. They're just sending in these vehicles first.
All right, so I would be best up on the roof.
She nods. Just make sure you don't get jumped up there.
She'll heft the axe in a couple of tendrils and be like, I'd welcome it.
Tiberius, go ahead and do mind exerting computers.
Drac will also radio idly. Out of curiosity, how much do you figure one of these cars weighs?
I don't know offhand.
Oh, this is going to be a big die roll.
Die roll.
I rolled on.
So 12, 10, 8, 13.
Okay. You are not through it yet, but you've made a dent.
Oh, they've got some serious network security on this.
Arthur Dent.
And on average, the cars tend to weigh about 4,000 pounds.
I'm gonna try and help with the hacking since I can. Actually, I'd be hacking from the computer console and the thing, so I don't know if that'll help. Can I do it from there?
There's not much that you can do to this from there.
Okay, well then I can't help him then. I can't
Yeah.
help.
Okay. Tiberius, go ahead and go again.
Ooh.
3 more. Okay.
14.
Yeah,
15.
it's 3 more. So yeah, you were able to get in and shut down this program basically.
So the cars start going ram, 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 ram.
All you hear over the comm is just stop.
Hammer time.
Good job. And she yells back through the comm. Good job. Can you get them to back out? See if we can get them away from the exits.
All right, yeah. Give me a moment. This system's still fighting me a little bit, so I'm going to try.
You
and
were
get
able to back up ones that have not inherently flipped, so you can get a few of them out of here.
And I'm actually going to. I'm going to wagon train them around the building.
Okay, that's going to take a little time to do. You can do it, but it's going to eat up a little time to make it happen. Where were you? You were on the roof, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so Tisa's going to show up and he is
Driving
distracted.
cars around.
He's
remote
driving
controls.
cars. Yeah, he's got his hands out going beep beep beep.
Having fun with your toys, dear.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They really put. I don't know who bought these things, but oh my! If I can, I'm claiming dibs on a couple of these things. They got new models.
He grins at you. He grins at you thoroughly, and you catch a laser dot on his front tooth.
Down.
Dropping.
And we'll stop it right there because we can't really start the shooting right then. But we'll go into the
Okay.
fight next week.
Yay.
35
Begins the
XP.
shooting.
Yeah,
right.
y'all can have XP of the 13 variety, and I'll give an extra one to the 2 improv folks.
Yay!
I got to do stuff before I die.
The ones that I put in the on the fucking spot with the fucking reports earlier.
Well, we'll give everybody else a chance to give reports if they want to next week to make up for it.
Oh, okay.
All right, so BB got moved to the lobby, back lobby, because he was in the hallway. just keeping track of where everybody
I
was.
was told not quite all the way down. Because, yeah.
Yeah, she said to go to the second floor because she was figuring that having a vantage point was going to be more useful because Drac can tell them the people are down there or not. He's already there.
All right, so I put BB en route to lobby. I'm just keeping notes for next week, so we'll know where everybody is. Toberius and Tisa are on the roof. Rio's up top with CEOs. I'm in the computer room. Drachert's already in the lobby. BB's en route. Okay. I'm keeping track, so we know where everybody is. Good.
Cool.
I have 2 proficiency points to spend.
All right, and we got 13 XP. All right.
Yep.
Is there anything else we want to say, or can I kill the stream?
I think you can kill the streamers.
All right. Bye, streamers. We're killing you all.
Bye, streamers.
Was there anybody there?
Jeez.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
were.
Oh, cool.